Awesome. There we go. And we are live, gentlemen. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Prosperity Team's Wednesday Hangouts. We've been gone for a while at these live events and rocking and rolling in Denver and breaking bread and bonding with the team. But we're back in action, man. We're all fired up, too. You couldn't keep us wedged in here about what we learned in Denver, the whole energy that was the live events. Number one, the whole Empower Network experience at the live events. You guys have to experience it. So without further ado, click the buttons and do whatever you got to do to get to the regional. We've split off now. We'll kind of talk about that in a second, how we're doing regionals, 4 different locations. So most of you can actually drive to it now, guys. It's going to be awesome. So the energy is going to be just off the chain. And what we learned over there, that was the Empower Network, was in and of itself was a blow your mind off kind of experience, best that I've ever been to, and I've been to all of them. And then we had a little thing called the Prosperity Team Little Breakout. They call it a little breakout. And our little breakout room was actually bigger than our very first entire Empower Network event, which was in Atlanta about a year and a half ago or so. And we had about 1,200 people at the entire first event of Empower Network. We had over 1,000 people cramming into our little breakout room. Our breakout room was as big as the whole event was the very first time. So if that's any sign that we kind of got our hands and our minds on something that's working here, that's blowing up, I don't know what else is, guys. We've just been blowing up. More and more people are joining. They're staying. They're loving the environment, the culture, the training, the support. So for our guests, for our prospects, if this is the very first, I call it a live event, very first virtual live event that you've been to for the Prosperity Team and Empower Network, welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a seat. What you're going to want to do throughout this entire Hangout, and especially at the end, you're going to want to click the button that you see on your screen. Whoever invited you is using a special coded website, whether it's inside of Facebook or whether it's outside of Facebook. It has a really cool lounge setting. It says Prosperity Team Hangout, and you get both of those systems, the inside Facebook application tab to invite people to, and you get the outside of Facebook website version of it coded to you for free, no charge. That's just how we roll. We've just got too many resources, marketing systems. In fact, that's the star of the show, is we're going to be talking about some announcements we made in Denver about a brand new marketing funnel that was created by Chris Jones, Chris Campbell. Chris is here in the panel. We got Alex Zuberoff, upstate New York. We got Kevin Souza. We got Scott Zlatif, and we're just going to rock this call out. So without further ado, what you want to do is click on the button, join with your sponsor, get all your questions, all the information answered. We've got a red button to join. We've got a blue button to get all your frequently asked questions are right there, including what are the products. What is the comp plan? Is this thing legit? How does this work? How much money can I make? How much money will I not make? How fast can I make money? All of that stuff we'll probably start talking, because we're seeing incredible results. We'll probably get to talking about some money that might blow your mind, and then other money for everyday people that won't completely blow your mind, but it'll be like, hey, if I was making an extra $250 a week part-time without doing much using systems on the internet, I'll take it, right? $500 a week, things like that. So for all of that, no, there's no implied guarantees of any income. Some people join us and join every other thing on the internet and don't do anything with it, so obviously they don't make anything with it. With us, it's the same thing. You could either get in and take action, you can get in and do nothing, or you can get in and go at your own pace and earn a little bit of money while you learn. And if you really focus, you could earn a lot too. There's an income, earnings, disclosure, and disclaimer page that we have on all of the Empower Network official sites. So if you can get to your sponsor's blog, if you can get to their corporate website, or any of the funnel instrumentation through Empower Network, if you scroll to the bottom, there's always an income or an earnings disclosure link. Click on that and really analyze that, because we've got one of the best ones in the entire industry where it's updated in real time. We're very transparent. We want to know, we want you to know the truth, exactly the truth, so that nobody comes in here with a pie in the sky, put a coin through a slot machine type of thing mindset, because that never works for us. It doesn't work for you, and we're only looking for people who are realistic, and we're looking for something like us anyway. So without further ado, there's income disclosure links all over the place. Ask your sponsor for one. I believe pretty soon we'll actually embed it into this very prosperity hangout thing too. It's our wizards will get it on there as well, and it'll just be part of our maybe part of our FAQ page would be a good idea. They do everything. We just got back from a live event, so we haven't even touched websites in a while. We've been on Facebook inviting you here, and here we go. So here's kind of what I'm going to do. We invited you here to learn about 7 fatal mistakes that most marketers make, either when they're new or even a lot of experienced marketers, that keep them from really good success. We're going to talk about what they are right now, and then we're going to open up the floor to talk about how our systems kind of alleviate, avoid, and get rid of these critical mistakes for you, because causing any of these 7 mistakes is going to be like shooting your business in the face, guys. So let's get right into the content, and then we'll open up to the floor. The number 1 fatal mistake, you guys can chime in. We can finish with like 20,000 fatal mistakes here with all of our experience here. So these are just some off the top of my mind. Some of the ones that I know I see all the time, even on Facebook, when I read other people's emails, go through funnels, and study what people are doing. And I see these glaring mistakes all the time. Number 1 is having absolutely no clarity, right? Not a crystal clear vision in where the actual marketer wants to go, and they're kind of flailing, flying by the seat of their pants, doing all kinds of stuff. When I see people have no clarity, they typically tend to just go all the way down to the basement, lower levels of pitching and hyping and over-exaggerating and all kinds of stuff that is going to repel a lot of people from you. I see a lot of this on Facebook. So number 1, no clarity. Number 2, there's no personal development. You can tell within 2 seconds that the person that's trying to market out there is not going through a personal growth journey, doesn't care about mindset, and it comes out because the first wind of adversity, the first whisper of adversity, some other dude jumps out from the left and says, oh, your program sucks, mine has a better comp plan, you get 2% better over here. And then they're done. They shut it down. They either crawl up in the fetal position or they're jumping to a different program every week based on that. There's no strength, and that's a clear lack of mindset, there's no conviction, no confidence, there's no communication skills, so they think by jumping into different deals that they feel communicate better, that's where it's gold, right? And they make that critical mistake. Number 3, not enough lead generation. They might have a great funnel, but they're simply not driving enough traffic through the front end of that pipeline into the funnel so it can percolate and go through the pipeline process and come out the other end of sale, right? So serious lack of leads and traffic. Number 4, a poor sales funnel. How many poor sales funnels do we see out there, guys, where you see someone on Facebook jumping up and down about something in your thread, right? You're writing, hi, mom, and this dude spams his link at, oh, I got something perfect for moms. Show this to your mom. And then you click on the darn thing, and it looks like a flea market. It's a website infested by spam, and you know they're not making money. So very, very poor sales funnels, or a sales funnel that's not complete. It's not a smart funnel. There's no follow-up. The message doesn't match, the image doesn't match, the headline doesn't match, the video presentation doesn't match any of the follow-up emails, if there are any, which is number 5, right? No follow-up. Absolutely no follow-up system, where the follow-up is very, very poor. It's just a bunch of hyped up, get in now, get in now, get in now, because if you don't get in now, you're not going to make money. Everybody makes money in the beginning if they get in at the top. And so then you wonder, how the hell, what are you going to tell me 6 months from now? Is it still a good deal? So a lot of psychological blunders in the follow-up process, trying to hype people in and blowing their face up, their business's face up, because then it just negates all of the longevity, and people see it as a money game. Number 5 is no mastermind. No clear system, no mentorship, no mastermind, and no place to mastermind for their team. So now even if this dude can communicate, right, and generate a couple of sales, they plug their team into nothingness, so nothing happens. So they've got the attrition monster eating their lunch. People are coming in, leaving, so they have to stay focused on the front end, basic entry level, and they can never get at the back end, and that's where your wealth lives, right? The money's on the back end, the fortune's in the follow-up and the upsells. And then number 7, guys, no long-term focus. Absolutely no long-term focus. They're looking for the quick buck, and everybody reads that as a gambler. That's not a free enterprise. That's not an entrepreneur. That's not a real business that has any kind of longevity. It's a gambler. So if you guys are taking notes, Those are the 7 critical mistakes. Now, if you look at everything that we've got, and I'll open up to the floor right now, if you go back to your sponsor, whoever invited you here did something pretty simple but pretty slick to get you on here, right? I don't know if it was a Facebook message, an email, a video, a direct chat on Facebook. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was that got you here, can we agree that it worked? Now we have to ask ourselves, that had to come from somewhere. It comes from our training. We go through a lot of work to give people not only the training and the education on mindset and on marketing, but we give our team content to use. I mean, we've been there struggling. We can teach you until we're blue in the face, but if you don't have a lot of time because you got kids and work and profession and dog and AYSO soccer and Little League, you can't just sit down and in 5 minutes be the Jedi of marketing all over Facebook and then go to bed to do it all over again in the morning, right? So we realize that, and part of our system is that we actually give our teammates, anybody on the team, like today, you guys raise your hand or explain a little bit in the comment section as we flow here through this stuff, exactly what you received today that helped you market. Did you get some copywriting? Did you get graphics you can use in your marketing? Did you get links that you can use, compare and contrast? Were you educated on a workshop this morning at 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock noon, on exactly what the specific strategy was going to be to make today a profitable day, a productive day for you? And kind of let people know how much this team gives you every single day in the form of mindset and marketing education. And with that, I'm going to open it up to you guys, because what we have coming down, especially after the announcements from Denver, is we're just taking the existing systems that we have now, guys, to a whole nother level. Man, we heard with this ENV2 launch, no secret, the new capture pages, the new video by David Sharp worked right into our poker hand with what Chris Jones and Chris Campbell developed for us, in that the message is really going mainstream. It's going grassroots. I'm going to open it up. Maybe we can start with Kevin Souza right in the middle of our screen here. Kevin, talk a little bit about just the direction of the message, the mainstream now, as well as, you know, we've got it dominated with the existing marketer market. We've got that on lockdown. But talk about the mainstream and the grassroots that are going to be able to learn what we're all about because of these systems we're rolling out and the new launch coming up in 60 days.
Great, and thank you very much for the 7 mistakes, Franco. I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about that and help segue where Alex and Scott will help segue into what Chris has to share with us tonight. You know, folks, I've been in this profession for 35 plus years. My name is Kevin Souza. I live in Kentucky with my wife and my 16-year-old autistic daughter. We've earned enough income from this business to help our daughter go to a private school where she can live life to her fullest potential and learn how to do that. But you know, where I came from and where mostly everybody comes from is an employer-employee relationship. That's where the masses are coming from. And one of the things that we learn when we have a job is that we need to become independent and self-reliant and not have to rely on constantly asking the boss questions. We want to be able to function in our job capacity in a fashion that allows us to do it independently, but while at the same time doing our job and complying with the company's rules, regulations, and so forth. And that mentality, I realized in retrospect, is where I was at when I first got into this profession at the young age of 19, which was 35, 36 years ago. And I thought that I needed to, when I got into this profession, I thought that I needed to learn everything I could so that I could work everything by myself in an independent fashion. And what I didn't realize when I got into this profession, that it's just the opposite of that. And the leaders, especially in the Empower Network and the Prosperity team, have put together a culmination of all of their experiences and knowledge and training into a systematic fashion where you are not independent, you're working as a team with not only the leaders but also the people that you start bringing into the business. And so that mentality of, oh, I got to do things so that I can be able to do stuff on my own, no. This is a team. There's no I in team. That mentality is not the same as an employer-employee relationship. So what we do is we edify the leadership of Prosperity Team, the leadership of the Empower Network, and utilize systems and training that has been put into place and locked in so that all we need to do is a paint by numbers, step-by-step system. And somebody brand new, and I'm talking to the new people in this room today, if you're brand new and you still have lots to learn, so to speak, you can literally help somebody else who's brand new by pointing them to the members area of the Prosperity Team so that they can learn through the videos and through the Hangouts and through the daily mastermind sessions at 12 noon that we have that are also recorded for those who can't attend those, and hangouts such as these, and webinars that we do, and mindset calls every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern with Paul Hutchings. We have all the systems and the support tools in place to help anyone learn, and anyone who's new can help anyone learn by just simply referring them back to the members area of the Prosperity Team. Well, we've now, as Frank alluded to, taken that to the next level. Where the systems that Chris Jones is about to share with you are now in a new level, in a level that's going to accelerate not only the current leaders and the current affiliates in the network, but anyone who's brand new right off the bat out of the gate can utilize to help their businesses grow as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and most importantly, as profitable as possible, that duplicates in your organization, which creates that momentum of success that everybody talks about and dreams about. Okay, but one of the biggest mistakes that you can make is trying to do this on your own. Okay, yeah, I know about all those videos in Prosperity Team. Yeah, but I want to do this. Well, if you do this and you're not duplicating the pattern and duplicating what we're teaching you, you're going to fail. Okay? Why waste your time going through the trial and error that all the leaders here have gone through and have experienced and distilled just the pure knowledge that you need for systems? Why would you go through a trial and error? So we encourage you to listen to what we're teaching and to follow directions and follow instructions to the letter. You know, I like to say follow the system on faith even when you don't understand it. Okay,
yeah, especially
because exactly, it's a paint by numbers business, folks. It's like building a jigsaw puzzle. Can you imagine as a kid if you dumped all the pieces on a card table, you turned them all over, you look for all the flat ones first to put the frame together? Everybody remember that? And then you start matching colors on the box cover so that you can start putting the pieces together, and eventually you see the picture. Well, I have some good news for you. Can you imagine as a child if somebody you knew memorized where the pieces went while you were building that puzzle? All you had to do is say, hey, where do these pieces go? Show me. And then boom, 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 you put the pieces together without even knowing what the picture looks like. Okay? That's important, and it's kind of an analogy, but I just wanted to make that point because what Chris Jones is about to share with you, in addition to everything else that Prosperity Team already provides and is instituting with the new ENV2, which is Empower Network version 2 blogging system that's coming up in September. This is something you want to get on board with ASAP.
Right now.
So click join now, get that piece over with. If you need more information, click the other button, get your frequently asked questions answered, and join us. And so pretty much, Franco, that's about all I have to say about that.
Yeah, man, well, all you have to say about that, I took two pages of notes, brother. 2 pages of notes, man. That's content for tomorrow. I love it. Hey, Scott, chime in a little bit, man. This stuff that we learned, it was just perfect timing, man, between what Empower Network is doing with an Apple-style product launch that we're rolling into. So basically, they're giving us 60 days, man, to have you guys get in now, learn the system, learn how we flow, and just monkey see, monkey do marketing, stair-step your way into profit zone. But between what you saw that Empower Network was launching, and then we had Big Chris Jones with his MMA, arms and all these biceps stand up, and he told us what he had created, dude. What do you think now, man? Was that like perfect timing or what?
Oh, sometimes you look at some of the things that happen, and whatever it is a person believes, the universe, God speaking, anything like that. Sometimes things just manifest right at the right period, the right point in time. It's just like, people who, found out about Microsoft before Microsoft went big. There's, when Google came on, when Facebook happened, when YouTube happened. I mean, all these different things that happen. It's like, aligning of the planets and everything that aligns all at the same time. If you can position yourself in front of those things, that's when, we always have the most success. And, everybody, it's like, gosh, I wish I would have known about this, after the fact. I wish I would have known about this after the fact. And it's always something that it always seems to elude you unless you're focused on something, on one vision, on one goal to succeed in life and business and anything that you have out in front of you. And that's when you start seeing, it seems like you start to attract those things into your life. And so for every single person that's watching this Hangout right now, there's a reason you're here. That's the biggest thing. There's no mistake why it is that you're here listening to our voices as we're talking to you right now. And, one of the biggest things that I see with this is, I got to talk with all these guys down at the event. And this team is like a family, when you can get together and really absorb from every single person their individual skill sets and what they're good at. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I think I speak for most of us when I say this. Most of us made this same mistake. Exactly what Kevin was saying is that we try to do it the Lone Ranger style. And you realize that the sooner that you can drop your pride and your ego and realize that everybody coming together as one big mastermind and utilizing our individual skill sets and then combining all of them together under one roof and everybody just blazing a trail for the rest of the folks to come behind us, that's where the true power exists. And I got so excited. Right now I got goosebumps just sitting here thinking about it. What Chris is actually about to launch out for everybody. We're able to leverage off from people like Chris Campbell, Chris Jones, who have been doing this successfully for many years, multi-million-dollar earners. And you just don't get that opportunity that often. I want everybody to realize this, to be able to have access to the minds of people who are way up here in terms of income level and do it very, very fast. That's very rare, and we're just completely honored to have a person like this being able to just dump everything in and very, very giving in nature. Just being able to develop something like this, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And what's about to happen as a result of this, official income disclaimer, anything that, we're not saying that you're going to make $1 million in 2.5 seconds, and we're not going to say that you're going to make anything. What we do say in these income claims is basically that this is what's possible. Now, what was really cool is when we were in Denver, we were sitting there, Chris and I were sitting there next to Mike Hobbs, and we were at the ball game, and Mike pulls out his phone and says, "Check this out." And he shows me his phone, and he made a $3,000 commission while we were at the ballpark. Now, why was that? Well, his personal business assistant was on the phone with the person, and that's some of the things that everybody that is at a certain level within the Prosperity team, you'll actually have access to getting a personal business assistants who actually call everybody on your behalf.
Sexy. Can you say that again? We're going to have a personal what now? That sounded sexy. We're going to have what? Personal business assistant. Ooh, say that again.
Personal business assistant. Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue so nice, doesn't it? That was just really cool. And Chris, he'll be able to touch a lot more on this, but I got really excited because some of my skill sets and some of us on the internet. I came to the internet because I just don't have that really, really good connection, one-on-one connection with people. I'm more of I'll cut a video, send tons of traffic to it, and recruit people. That's my style.
Come on,
So
Scott. We know you have a full, beautiful, professional publishing business right in your basement, dude, that creates business kits just like what Chris Jones can create, dude. We know you're a professional publisher of offline marketing material. We already know, dude. Come on.
yeah, no, no, not even close, man. So I mean, it's something that I've always wanted to do, never knew how to do it. And what's fascinating is that, when you have something up in your mind for a long time, like a lot of people who are watching this right now, you've had this vision in your mind on what you want to accomplish in your life. You've had a vision on that you want to quit that job, you want to make an extra, $5,000-$10,000 a month. You have these different things that you want to accomplish, these things that you want to do. And isn't it interesting that you're on this hangout with us right now, and you have a chance to lock arms with us and be able to march forward with this brand new idea and this system and everything that's happening with everything that's that we're doing with the Prosperity Team, ENV2 that's coming out, everything that's happening all at the same time. I believe that there's no mistakes in life. Everything happens for a reason. And when I saw this coming out, I've always wanted to do some of this offline stuff. And oh man, I just got so excited when I heard about this, and the whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, and and it's like it was almost like an infomercial in my mind. And wait, there's more, it just kept going on.
It's like being given a whole new business for free. I mean, if where we're playing in internet marketing is a very big market, right? But it's internet marketing. It's inside our primary prospect is probably an existing marketer somewhere trying to build a better mousetrap or tap into one. That it's a good sized market. But what we're talking about today is all of a sudden we're given a gift now with the tools and resources that just makes that look like the tiny little guest house in a gigantic mansion of a market that we're being able to march in now with good message, good vision, good tools. It's crazy, man. That's what I saw in Denver too. When I saw that all come together, it was like, oh, you got to be kidding me! You just put this on my lap. I'm gonna run like crazy.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. Exactly what you're saying. Internet marketing as a whole and the make money from home niche is very small and very. I mean, in comparison to everything on the internet, it's just a very narrow niche and a mile deep, right? So it's just very focused. But now with everything from what we're doing with Chris and then ENV2 that's coming out, I mean, we're talking about just completely expanding to being just encompassing every single aspect of offline marketing, online marketing, just grandma who loves knitting and wants to be able to supplement some extra income. I mean, we're really from 18 years old to 85. We got you covered, and it's going to be epic. That's all I can say. It's going to be epic.
No, it's awesome, man. And the focus right now is too. Remember, I was just coming off the Monday Power Hour call that we had, and I was re-listening to that. Primarily, to be honest with you, to stay on point. Stay on message with where the entire company is flowing, so I can flow in with that tidal wave. It's like you just want to ride that big wave in the North Shore of Oahu. It's just that's the way you want to do it. You don't want to buck against it. And when I was listening to that is, the focus right now for the next 55, 57 days is just rebuild and connect again with our inner circle, identify who that inner circle is going to be, get them locked and loaded, and then run down this thing with a whole fire team, with a whole platoon with you, man. So you guys have the capacity right now to put it all together, plug in tonight, get started, hook into our training. There's a lot of like, how am I going to do this questions. And what I'll tell you about that before we move on to Alex, and he's just going to cover what he's feeling right now and what his mission is in his own business. And this is a guy that's making 30 grand a month, man, and he's doing it. You can tell he's not slaving away over there. He's sitting down in upstate New York in his vacation home in paradise up there in the woods. So he's not breaking his back to do it, and he's moving a business to the tune of $30,000 net profit coming into his household in commissions, not gross sales. We're not using MLM language to kind of blow up some numbers. That's what he's earning, right? And so he's going to share some thoughts on what his focus is now to go from there to a whole nother level with what we're doing. But the main thing is putting together right now people to come in. Don't worry about what you have to do next. Trust us when we say we've got you covered. You show up every day in the morning. Everything we do is recorded, so don't worry about what time is this, what time is that, am I going to miss it? I work nights, I work mornings, I work, graveyard, whatever. Everything that we do for you is recorded, so you can get to it whenever you can get to it. But here's what we give you every single day: a mindset call to get you charged and running in the right direction. Also to give you good content, man, to speak increase into the rest of the market. And you lift people up with your words and your marketing, and that attracts a whole different level of people. So it's not only for you, but it's for you to share with others. So that's the Mindset Personal Development call that we have every single day with Paul Hutchings. After that, a couple of hours later, we roll right into a daily Monday through Friday. What do you do today as far as marketing? We give you an assignment. We talk about the tactics so you understand why you're doing certain things with us. And then we tell you to go do it. And we give you the content, the images, the messages, everything. Today is a testament to that. We just gave people a whole master plan of how to promote into the market and get people to this hangout. And I don't know how many we have, guys, but it looks like we have over 1,100 or something crazy on this thing last time I checked. And that was before we started. We already had 1,100 people watching the recording, waiting for tonight's event. So what we teach you works. We give that to you every day. The systems, the training, the mentorship, and then we just plug into a vehicle that just profit margins and back end and front end. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to create missing pieces. Remember, Alex, when we were working together in some programs, man, and if it was a high-ticket deal, we had to go running around trying to reinvent the wheel or find some other shiny object to fit in the funded proposal slot. Then we needed a middle income thing. If we wanted residual, we had to go find a residual income thing. And if we were running with a big ticket, we plugged in a big ticket thing, and then our market saw all these different messages, and they couldn't understand. It made sense to us. We knew what the continuity was, but it wasn't a true continuity. It was just a patchwork of a bunch of stuff, man. Speak to the power of your business right now, dude, and where you're going in the next 60 days. And tell them a little bit about where we come from, man, and what we had to do to create a full-time income in this mess before Empower.
Oh man! Hey guys, glad to be here. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. I think Frank Kern would have called what we've been doing, Franco, before duct tape technology, where we just putting patches on everything, just making things work. What was lacking from those companies on the comp plans. But I'm just super stoked. I'm excited. Like what's coming, what Chris is gonna introduce. It's I kind of was. Had access to something similar a couple years ago, but that had maybe about 10% of what Chris has in this system. And what I can tell you, from what we had, it was working for everybody. That's where duplication kicks in. That's where results kick in. And we didn't have 100% commissions. Okay, we had 5% or maybe 10% commissions on traditional network marketing products. Okay, and that was like almost impossible to make money, but the kicker is it was working for everybody because this system was like well-oiled machine, right? As soon as you plugged into that system, you followed steps, 1, 2, 3, and the system was running, because I come from a corporate background, just like Chris, and I understand the importance of having the right pieces of, different departments, if you want to call it, in your business, so you operate as a Fortune 500 company. Because if you think about it, like CEO of the company does not do recruitment, right? They don't, do hiring. There is a HR department that does that, right? CEO of the company does not do marketing, doesn't do sales and marketing, right? There is a separate department to do that, and they do it efficiently because they hire the best people to do that particular line of duty, right? That particular line of job. And same goes for any other department in a traditional, corporate environment. So. If you run your business by yourself, you really you just 30 days, 60 days, 90 days away from quitting on yourself because you're missing a lot of pieces of the puzzle, just like Kevin Sousa said, right? You're missing a lot of pieces, and yes, you have a lot of advantage with Empower Network over anything else out there because you can be in profit mode so much quicker, but you don't have, if you're not on the right team, if you don't have access to resources that we provide, you really shooting yourself in the foot, right? I'm just super excited what's coming, what Chris is going to say. But this is my perspective on things. You know, when you have access to all the pieces of the puzzle, there's no reason you're going to fail. There's no way you're going to fail unless you don't take action on your business. You know, we just came back from Denver. We had, what, 6,000-7,000 people in there. You know, we shot hundreds and hundreds of videos. People are so excited. And this is what happened, like, right after we came back from that event. I just had a couple of hangouts with my team, and they just going all in because of what's going to be available to them if they come in at the all-in level. It's no-brainer. I don't have to sell them on that. They see the vision. They see the value, immense value that this system is going to provide to them. They saw the results. Okay, people going all in, left and right. You know, we saw Mike Hobbs. You know, he had like 4 all-in sales in 1 week. So I know 5. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for correcting me. 5, even better. That's what, 25 grand? Hey, that's like 100 grand a month, right? You know, it's people see the value. Like people that were sitting on the fence. I just spoke to another guy on my team. He had like the whole Russian team coming on board. You know, people that were sitting on the fence for like 3-6 months watching what we were doing with Empowered Network. Now they see what ENV 2.0 product is coming, you know, next 55 days, less than 2 months away. So it's perfect timing. It's just like David Wood says, you know, we're about to hit momentum, right? What we saw, like what we have now, 500 people coming on board, but 400, 500 people a day. We're going to have, you know, 2,000, 3,000 people joining every single day in the next 90 days, okay? That's when it's going to get a lot of fun. That's when it's going to get crazy. That's when people are going to see, like, crazy incomes, right? Income disclosure, we don't know what you're going to do, but if you take action, obviously you're going to see results. And if you've been sitting on the fence until now is the time to jump off that fence and click that link, join now link, right? And come in at the level that you're most comfortable at, right? Because we all have different, you know, financial circumstances. But hey, when I joined, I went all in the first week, and I had over, you know, 60,000 credit card debt, right? After all this running around, you know, doing all these biz ops, right, Franco? Like, you know, joining like 20 different MLMs, you know. But at the same time, it's an experience. I look at that as experience, but at the same time, I was doing
a little bit of research the other night, Alex, and I was on Wikipedia. I was doing a little bit of SEO keyword research, and it showed me this Wikipedia thing where I got to MLM Junkie. I could have sworn I saw your picture and my picture on there, man.
That's the exact definition of me. I was listening to Joe Shorter tapes later, man. MLM burnouts, right? There's like 4 categories: MLM burnouts, MLM
retreads. That was a good one.
yeah, exactly. I think I'm all of that. I'm a combination of all of that. But you know, like I said, guys, it's perfect timing. Timing is not going to get better because you're going to lose momentum if you don't do it right now. Okay, so that's my perspective on things, guys. I really want to give mic to Chris and just let him blow up the internet right now.
Yeah, man, you got to understand this guy. When I found him, it was incredible, man. I saw him and his partner Chris Campbell, and I remember Chris from a couple of programs before where we were a little bit sidelined and stuff, and I would study his stuff, and then all of a sudden I'd see Chris Jones over here marketing. I would study his stuff, and I'd go, man, I ain't smart like that guy, and I ain't strong like that guy in what they do. It's like if they ever created something, I'd love to work with these guys. And then all of a sudden, you know, 3-4 years, whatever, go by. And, you know, just a few months ago, I figured out they were joining our team with Empower, and that was number one. And I said, I know they're bringing heat. These guys are brilliant marketers. They create systems. They create funneling and leverage and all this stuff for duplication. They understand that. That's all I've been watching them do for the past, you know, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it's been. And then all of a sudden it got a little bit quiet, and then we hit Denver, and they say, hey, have you seen these things that Chris Campbell and Chris Jones have created for us? And I'll let them take the mic, man. My mind was blown, and my vision just went from big to freaking like Bob Marley, XXL, Jaws. You know, it's just the entire market space just grew in my mind instantly in one moment. And I came home and I couldn't help but think on the plane and the taxis all the way back home. It's just new phrases, new headlines, new images, and just everything running through my head of how I can help funnel in and find people for this system now and how big our market's going to be. It's a whole different ballgame, man. So I'm going to give it up to Chris Jones. Welcome, my brother. Why don't you
Thanks.
school these people and just make them loose and sleep for a couple of months?
Wow. Well, it starts with step number one, and that's get a cool accent like Alex. You're guaranteed to be successful if you have an accent like you, Alex.
Conversion rates go up on a capture page with that accent.
Right. I'm jealous. Can I learn that?
Sure, man. I'll have my PBA book you into the next one.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. You guys, I mean, I could sit here and listen to you all night just because it's things that reinforce what we do and why we do what we do, and why we're all successful sitting here. Is just these things that you hear over and over and over again, and it's having that fight inside of you to keep pushing. And a lot of people may not know who I am or might have seen me around in the industry. A lot of times I'm kind of the guy in the background. My business partner's name is Chris as well. His name is Chris Campbell. He's the one with hair. I'm not. That's an easy way to figure that out. But otherwise, people know us by Chris and Chris. And so a little bit of my background, for those of you that don't know me, I can't take credit for everything that these guys are praising me about because I didn't create this from scratch. It was years and years of trial and error and banging my head against a desk over and over and over again that just said, you know what, there's got to be a better way. And so I would learn from people and say, you know what, that's a really good way, but this is still missing. And so over the years, I've figured out, or I've learned, and I've educated myself on what are the right pieces that need to be there. It's kind of like you look at McDonald's, right? If they're only good at French fries, they're leaving off half their menu. But they figured it all out. Their systems work. And so over the years, I've learned from some really smart people. And I've just been a doer my whole life. I've been an action taker. I've never quit in anything that I've ever done. And I think that's, in fact, I know that's why I am where I am. So I guess my background real quick, just for you that don't know me, is I've been online since 2006. Believe it or not, it seems like forever. But, it hasn't all been merry. We've been very successful, both my partner and I. I actually started out alone. I had to borrow money to even get into the industry. I was completely broke. I left corporate America. I used to work for the government and Homeland Security right after 9/11. And, that just wasn't for me, and so I got into kind of the corporate way of doing things. And as great as the money was there, it just wasn't the life I wanted to live, and I know a lot of you can probably say the same or in that situation perhaps. So I said, you know what, enough is enough. I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it took me a while to get through it because I wasn't a reader, and it kind of changed my paradigm of what I needed to do. Now, I was an athlete before. I've been a professional kickboxer out in Asia. I've done a lot of things very well, but when it came to business, man, that was like completely new to me. And so I struggled for 4 years, and it wasn't until 2006 I realized that I could leverage my personality and leverage some of the skill sets that I had acquired over the years and to use them with systems that already existed. Now, back in 2006, there wasn't a whole lot out there. I mean, to do what we're doing right now is pretty incredible. Back in 2006, you couldn't do this stuff. So over the course of the years, I'd met a lot of successful entrepreneurs and built these relationships. My theory and my attitude towards business is surround yourself with as many successful entrepreneurs, competitors or not. Always make peace with them. Always surround yourself and do what you can for them and with them, because in turn you will be successful. And it's a big part of our prosperity team and our kind of our mantra here. So it was 2010. One of my biggest competitors, Chris Campbell, was on Google. We were fighting for the same business all the time, and we came together and said, you know what? We can do some big things if we put our heads together. Instead of being competitors, why don't we partner up and do something big? So we did. And, I can tell you, even though I'm going to put a disclaimer out there that results vary and all these things, that this is not typical. But I know what it's like to make tens of thousands of dollars a month, and I know what it's like to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. I say that because it's part of the journey, right? You got to learn these systems. And so Chris and I started to build systems about things that we wanted to do. We duct taped a lot of pieces together to make a whole complete and work. And so in 2011, December, Empower Network came across my desk. I had my own companies running. I had my own products that were doing very, very well. And somebody said, Chris, you should look at this. They're doing something different in the marketplace. And I said, what's that? He said, well, they're paying almost 100% commissions. I said, well, that's interesting. And so I didn't think anything of it. In fact, I thought it was probably the ugliest website I had ever seen. So I didn't take it seriously, and I know a lot of you maybe watching this might not have taken Empower Network seriously when you first saw it months ago. Hopefully you do now, but maybe you don't. And so we didn't take it seriously. We just marketed. We used systems that we knew that worked, that we've been using, and we became the top earner in Empower Network last year for several months. And then we stepped back, and as Franco alluded to, nobody saw us for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. We didn't go to the events necessarily. We were just kind of stepping back, seeing what the company was doing. And in the back of our head, we were like, okay, do we flip the overdrive switch on and build a system around this company and this platform, or do we not? And so we kind of sat back and said, we want to see the direction. And I gave David Wood, the owner of Empower Network, and David Sharp a call. I said, I need to talk to you guys and find out your vision and where you're going. And after about a 3.5-hour phone call, for those of you that know David Wood, he's a great talker, we had an amazing conversation. At that point, it was a turning point for me. I said, you know what? This is going to be one of the largest, if not the largest, network marketing or business company of like its kind in the industry. And so it kind of shot goosebumps up my soul, because you guys, 5 years ago, I was wishing for a company like this. I was wishing for a platform like this, because there were so many gaps in the market. Now, I come from network marketing as well, and I know what it's like to make 8% commissions. I know what it's like to try to recruit family and friends. It's very tough. It's very difficult, and it's very frustrating. And the dropout rate and retention is very bad. So I knew there were these gaps, but I, for one, did not want to build a company like Dave and Dave did. It's not something I wanted to do. In fact, it wasn't my strength. So I said, you know what? If there was a company that could do what they're doing, have an open platform that would allow us leaders to be able to build what we're building here, it would be a dream come true. And lo and behold, that happened. Did I see it coming? No. Did Franco see it coming? No. Kevin, I don't think you saw it coming. None of us did. And it was just, you know, I can't say a lot about why it happened. It just happened. And so rather than sit back and say, you know what, this is great, it happened, we said, you know what, we're going to push it into overdrive and seize the moment and really make a stand and break every record in this industry and help as many people as we can succeed through the systems that we know how to build. So back in Chicago at the 2 events ago, Chris and I sat down with the people who created Prosperity Team and said, you know what, we want to merge forces with you guys, because what you're doing is so incredible about how, I mean, I don't know how many people we have on here, thousands. It's just an incredible loyalty that we have in this group outside of what the company's doing. So internally we have this great community, and that is the foundation that is going to create so much success in this company, on top of what I'm going to share with you here in a minute. So we sat down in a conference room, and I said, you guys, this is what we want to bring to the table, and this is what you have. Let's do this in a real big way, and let's change some people's lives, because I don't think anybody's ever seen this. And so we did exactly that. We came back from Chicago. We started building. We got all our teams involved and all the people that we had in our development group. Say, you know what, pull focus and put it all into this. We're going to build this, this system. So we did, and we announced it in Denver a couple weeks ago. And so basically, you guys, in a nutshell, for those of you that don't know, we're looking at a way for you to automate as much as of the difficult systems or things in a business as possible. All right. For example, in a business, a lot of times it's very hard to, or difficult or challenging to acquire customers, okay? Especially in network marketing. If you're only making a small percentage, you can't afford to do advertising and still come out ahead. It's very difficult, and that's why you talk to family and friends and do these free things. So I personally am a paid advertiser. I like to pay for marketing, but I also know what it takes to do that. So we said, you know what? We're going to get rid of that element of failure and say, you know what, we're going to try to automate this, and we will automate that. So we created a funded proposal system, as Franco had mentioned, and it's a way for you to attract customers without having to learn marketing or become an expert at that. Now, I will stress, there's so many awesome ways to learn. I mean, the Empower Network products teach you, our Hangouts teach you, all the different products we have internally, our masterminds. You're going to learn things that just might click with you, whether it be Facebook or Twitter, whatever. But we wanted to get you going faster, okay? Because, gosh, you guys get 100% commissions, and those of you that are all in, you have the opportunity to make over $4,000 with one sale. You know, it's, before I go on and tell you about the system, I need to give you an example of how powerful this is, because I still have people giving me resistance saying, Chris, I don't get it, or I don't think this is going to be that big, or I don't think it works like you say it does. Well, a friend of mine is a big network marketer. He's been in the industry for years upon years. He's probably on here right now. I love you. You're a good guy. In fact, I have your deck of cards you gave me years ago here. He's a photographer. He's the guy I had to borrow money from years ago to get into the industry. Well, he's very successful, and you know, he's made me off the compensation plans where you make 8 to 10%. So I said, Ron, you need to show up at the event and bring somebody with you. He did, and he had a couple people join him in his business, and I said, well, what was that like for you? And you know, one all-in made him over $4,000, and that was more than he had made in one of his other companies in 6 months. So it's such a transparent difference from what's out there, okay? And so it just opened his eyes, and he's been like just go, go, go since he's got home, and I think he's got a few more people on the queue to come into the business. So it really is great. But what we did is we took some systems to be able to allow you to market without having to learn that. That was the first piece. So you can just buy advertising as soon as you join the Prosperity Group or whoever your sponsor is. You can get traffic just by placing an order. It's that simple. And the cool thing is it was our vendor. So we weren't just going to say, hey, guys, go use these guys who they're maybe nobodies. These were like legitimate professional people that generate traffic. So with that being said, we had that to offer. So now people can jump in and get traffic to their site. So the next question came is, where do they send people? Okay. As you know, you have to have a good presentation. You have to have something that converts in a big way. So we said, you know what? Chris and I are going to build a platform called iPass. And it stands for, if you're taking notes, it stands for Internet Prospect Acceleration Systems. What that comes down to is it's a way for you to accelerate how you get prospects into your business. It's exactly what it means. So from websites to follow-up sequences to automation, all these things happen. So we're pumping out websites right now that are very unique to the marketplace, that are going to attract people who will see Empower Network in a whole different light. The doctors, the lawyers, you name it, okay? We want to attract people that take this seriously because those are the people that are going to grow your business in a multitude of ways. So that was the first thing. The second thing is we want to say, you know what? If we're going to take this company to the next level, we want to give you guys kind of an unfair advantage and do something that nobody's doing, not even the company is doing. And that was offer you guys to sell and basically use a funded proposal or a blind offer to promote the company. So rather than just selling Empower Network and trying to explain it and do all these things, forget about that for a second. What if we created a beautiful package, and I don't have one in front of me because I got rid of them all here locally, but it's a beautiful folder. It's got 2 DVDs in there, a magazine, a workbook, and a couple product brochures, and we give you a website that allows you to sell this kit for under $10. All right? So you just send traffic, which we'll send for you, or you can do your own traffic, which works very well for this kind of model, and people just get this kit for less than $10. All right, it's a trial. They get 14 days to check out our system, our iPass system. From there, what happens is, this is where it gets interesting. They get the kit in the mail, and an appointment setter calls and says, hey, glad that you got this kit. It's on its way. I want to schedule an appointment with your business coach to go through the product with you the same day. All right, so then what happens is they set up an appointment maybe 3 or 4 days later. We priority mail this kit to them. They get the kit and they go through it. It's a fantastic, very professional presentation. And from there, their business coach calls them and walks them through the material. So it walks them through both DVDs. It walks them through the products. What is Empower Network? What is Prosperity Team? What is the systems that are going to allow you to be successful? Now, would you like to go all in like everybody else so you can make a big commission, or where would you like to start? What's comfortable for you? And so they start at the top and work down, whereas a lot of the industry starts the other way around. They kind of underplay the value of this business. You guys, if I go to a successful entrepreneur friend of mine, say he's a $1 million earner in his profession, I say, I need you to look at this opportunity, but it's only 25 bucks. What do you think his reaction will be? Oh, I can't make any money. If it's only $25, how can I expect to make any money? He won't take it seriously, okay? But if I hand him a folder with 2 very nice presentations that show what is really involved in the big picture of this company, I say, hey, to go all in, it's just over $5,000. That's it. You get a business, and you can have an opportunity to make up to X and X amount. He'll take it much more serious. And then I tell him the systems that are in place that won't interfere with what he's doing now. It's completely automated. You guys, it's a no-brainer. So we built this kit system, and we built this funnel to be able to do the explaining for you. So the traffic is taken care of. The websites are taken care of. Now you have these folders or presentations, I call them press kits, that go out to people all over the country. We just flood the market with these press kits, and we have a lot of business assistants, which we call PBAs, or personal business assistants, that work on your behalf. All right? They are out there day in, day out, night and day, 365 days a year, explaining your business for you. You guys, nobody is doing this right now, and I will tell you why. It's a complete brain damage thing to set up. It's very, very difficult to set up, and I urge all of you, do not do what I do. Do not do what I do, because it is very, very difficult. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't know what the outcome would be. And I'm telling you, it is a game changer for those of you that have maybe struggled in a business before because you couldn't get people to your website, or maybe you had a problem explaining it once you got somebody there. But imagine if all that went away and you could focus on just one thing. And maybe it was just getting on a Hangout once a week, or maybe it was just going through the 8 steps, or doing some action, but one action, and getting really good at it because you knew everything else was being done. How would your business change? If you were laser focused, okay, how would your business change? That is the power of what we have here, and that's what we decided to bring to the table. Now, I'm not even talking about every 3 months us holding a mastermind where we go to ball games and you get to sit there face to face with people like Alex and Kevin and people that have been very successful in the industry, myself, and say, you know what, you're going to learn how people tick. And I'm going to tell you what, this is a business model that I like to call a hybrid business model. Okay, this is something I had wished for 5 years ago, and what I mean by that is you have an e-commerce company built alongside a network marketing company that has events and has that personal touch. So high tech and high touch have come together to create the best platform that I believe that I've ever seen or known, and I am biased because I've helped build this, but I've never seen anybody do what we've done. I've seen pieces of it, but a lot of companies you can't do this because you don't have the margins. So you might ask yourself, well, Chris, if this is so great, why haven't other people do it? First of all, it's very expensive and very difficult to build, and a lot of times, I got to say this, is a lot of companies are run like corporate America. They don't allow the leaders to do what they need to do to build their business. I know you guys can shake your head at that, and I see all of you shaking your head at that. It's because they don't allow you the freedom to build the business. They want to control you. Where on the other hand, Dave and Dave are like, you guys do what you're going to do, just stay within the compliance and regulations, which we have been. Build this thing to the moon. You know, if you guys make more than us, that's great. We won't feel too good about it, but that's great, right? So that is one thing that changed the game here. We could bring in our systems knowing that the company is going to do what they do best. And all we want the company to do is organize events so we can all get together every 3 months, or even less than that now, every 6 weeks, so we can get together and help each other and build relationships, get the benefit of what we do for a living. And then just build this product, this ENV2. I mean, you guys, this has been a year and a half in the making, and they're focusing on this product that is going to, I think, revolutionize blogging. And so we can't downplay that either. So now the Prosperity Group and the leadership here, and Chris and I can come together and build the best business system for you to be able to be successful. So it comes down to that. It comes down to you getting into a hybrid business system like the Empower Network, and what I think is the best marketing system out there. And then on top of that, we do these events and hangouts. Guys, there's nothing like it. I'm just blown away by how willing all the leaders are to step up, because I don't have any financial benefit from Alex or Kevin or any of you, a lot of you on here. But for me to see all of you succeed, it helps the company succeed. And I know there's things coming down the line from the company. I can't say it or I'll be in big trouble here. But there's things coming down the line that are just going to blow this thing up to so many more bigger proportions. You're going to start attracting major players in this industry. And now is the time, and I'm going to tell you something that might shock you. I believe the top earner in Power Network is making, again, this is not regular, this is not normal, these results may vary, but I believe he's making over $300,000 a month. That's a lot of money, okay? The top earner in this company isn't even in the company yet. So those of you watching that aren't in the company or maybe just joined, that person could be you. All right. So I say that because this company hasn't even hit momentum yet. Would you guys agree? I think you're all shaking your head. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. The sky's the limit right now. especially because we haven't even seen the best Empower network yet. We've got this system just launching. We've got ENV2 coming. We just we're just barely putting together a vanguard of really exceptional leaders, but we haven't seen the waves of other talent that's going to come our way too, and they're going to fall somewhere. So
previous company that I was with, the guy was making 350 grand a month with network marketing with 6%.
And he was
100%.
You guys, it's mind blowing. I talked to a guy in Denver, and he was making about 40 to 50,000 a month with his respective company. And I asked him how many people he had in his organization. I think he said like 45 or 50,000 people. And I said, "You guess how many people I have in my organization?" 1,400. 1,400, and I was making almost the same amount, if not more, than him by the time we were talking. And so, you guys, I mean, just imagine if I had 45,000 people in an organization, I'd be making $2 million a month, more than likely. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's mind-blowing that the leverage is in the systems here, and it's not in recruiting the masses, because it's, I would rather work with one of you that really focuses and dials in than work with 1,000 people that are lazy and don't treat it serious.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But
no, I think it's powerful, man. Hey, Chris, let me list you down here. So I got like 5 main things from your system that you're talking about. Even the business kit, it's still like, it's hybrid, right? There's an online funnel for it, and then people, if they're talented and their skill set is just yapping it up and meeting people out in town, this can also start and flow in the offline world, right?
Well, that's actually phase 2. So going into this, we knew we wanted to have an online attraction model, and so you guys will have websites that'll be able to send traffic to, and then when those kit sales come in and somebody pays for that $9.95 trial, again, it's a 14-day trial. So after 14 days, if they don't return it, it charges them a one-time fee of $40, which we pay you $20. Okay, so if you want 10 kit sales a day, we'll show you how to get that. You want 100 a day, we'll show you how to get that. That means your PBA is calling 10 or 100 people every single day on your behalf. It's huge.
Yeah. No, it's really powerful, man. I can't wait to use it. And then the way the PBA works too is blowing my mind, because you're saying immediately once they opt to buy the funded proposal, the business kit, that's when the PBA starts working for us. They don't have to buy anything else in the back end?
Right. There's 2 ways. Basically, first of all, you have to be all in to use the PBAs or the iPass kit system. There's some logistics there, why we had to do that, and we wanted to work with the serious entrepreneurs. So it is a more advanced system. So with that being said, there's 2 ways you can use them. First of all, you send traffic to your site, or you buy traffic. People buy the kits, and immediately upon purchase, our appointment setter actually calls and sets up the appointment before they even get the kit. So they're very proactive. So it's not like somebody's getting an unwanted sales call, because everybody expects that. But this appointment setter just builds the relationship ahead of time, so then they know that they're going to be getting a call with that business coach. Secondly, if you wanted to use a PBA outside of the kit system, so let's just say you're sending traffic to the Empower Network funnel, and somebody bought Empower Network for $25, you can turn on a switch in your Prosperity back office. And the cool thing about it is we have a business plan back there. Those of you that are in Prosperity, make sure you go through that business plan. But what happens is, if you have that switch turned on, every $25 sale that you make, regardless of where they come from, they will be getting a call from an appointment setter and a PBA within the next few days. So, guys, it's huge.
Sweet. Okay. Man, I'm learning a couple things here then. That's awesome, man. So that system is live right now, right?
It will be live, I would say, within the next week. Could be sooner, could be a little bit later. We're just wrapping things up. So the traffic system is just about ready. All right. So in the Prosperity back office, there'll be a section where you can actually use a slider, and you can choose how many clicks you want. So the videos are back there now, so those are all updated. Basically, you can just get the clicks. Clicks turn into leads. Leads turn into sales. Sales go to a PBA, and PBA does what they do best.
So we can act like CEOs and have leverage working even in the operations side of our business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Game over, guys.
Yeah, game over. Another important question too, Chris. Exclusive to Prosperity Team for right now, right?
Yes. You know, it's interesting. We've had a lot of people come to us about developing these systems, and you know, in fact, Dave came to us and said, you know, we want to have this as well. Can you make this for the company? And I said, you know, not at this time, because I really wanted to give our organization the loyalty. I wanted to create an exclusive community that was exclusive to us, just like what Facebook did to MySpace. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Facebook wiped them out. All right? Facebook ate MySpace's lunch. Let's be honest.
And dinner and dessert.
And it's because of exclusivity. All right? That exclusivity is what builds the bond, and I wanted to keep it exclusive for a while at least, and so we had something very unique here, and we built this platform so we could white label it for the company and other leaders later on, but honestly, our focus is to build success within first and foremost.
Yeah, I love that, man. Who else has a couple of thoughts on that? Alex, you've worked some traditional network marketing programs in the past that had some stuff like this, and you touched on a little bit, man. But take us back in time a little bit, and then talk a little bit about the advantage of bringing that into our vehicle with 100% and compensation, 100% commission, and the back end that we have here, which is just deadly effective. What are you thinking, man? Did you use this for a traditional MLM before? Something like this?
Yeah, something similar. Absolutely, funded proposal is huge. That's what I learned from Mike Dillard, obviously, like 4 years ago. When you have funded proposal, that basically it's a fundamental step in paid marketing, right? When you generate customers with the paid media, right? So basically, the way it worked, and again, that was with like teeny-weeny 5-10% commissions. But it was working. We were breaking even. Okay, so even with 10%, we were breaking even. So basically, the way it worked, it was very similar to what Chris created, right? Funded proposal, offline kits. You know, people order those kits, whatever, $5.95, $6.95, $9.95. I can't remember what it was. They get the kit in the mail, and at that point, follow-up starts. Right, the phone call center starts following up with those buyers, because those are, you know, obviously not just prospects, they're buyers. And at that point, I mean, it wasn't that sexy, it wasn't that polished, it wasn't that, you know, up to date. It was just like duct tape technology. Okay, but again, with that duct tape technology, we were breaking even. Okay, it was working, it was scalable, right? Where, you know, average person can come on board, plug in into that system without trying to figure out how to do Facebook pay-per-click, without trying to figure out how to do AdWords, without trying to figure out how to do, you know, SEO, how to do any other way, how to learn any way to drive traffic. You know, it was dummy-proof, right? It was really dummy-proof. We tell them, hey, we have duplicatable system. This is what you have to do. You know, website explains, hey, here you order your kits here, right? You order your traffic, and you know, fulfillment center will take care of the, you know, mailing those kits. You don't have to, you know, lick your own envelopes and the stamps like we did. I know I had like my whole family like sitting here on the kitchen table. I went to Staples. I ordered like 5,000, I don't know, like 2,000 envelopes. A business type, what is it? Business type 10 envelopes or something like that. You know, rolls of stamps. You know, I spent like $500 on stamps. Basically, we like end up spending. You know, we had really quality time with the family for like 8 hours at night. You know, you know, folding those sales letters into envelopes. You know, licking the stamps, sticking those stamps on the envelopes. Then dragging, you know, boxes and boxes of those envelopes to the post office, and the people are looking at me like I was crazy. You know, I'm like, I'm just a Santa Claus. Yeah, it's I know it's July, but hey, you know, Christmas is coming. You know, so it was fun, but that was like duct tape technology again. You know, there was a lot of components that, you know, whenever you have a lot of different things that people need to do, guess what happens to your duplication? It kills duplication, because there's not many people who are willing to do that, right? So when you introduce a system, you know, system makes everything simple and duplicatable for the masses. So that's what's huge. So even with that, you know, funded proposal that we had with the, you know, it wasn't sexy. It was just really crappy, part of my language. it was working, okay, with 10% commissions in traditional MLM, whatever I'm not going to mention any company names, but it was traditional, vitamin deal, whatever that was, and it was working. It was duplicatable. People were getting results,
Wow.
So
No,
this is going to be huge, guys. Like I said, game over. Chris and Chris,
yeah,
kudos
man.
to you guys. Like going back to Atlanta, 2012, first Empower Network, Don't Be Wussy event. I'm walking down the hallway. There we had like 2 hotels, so I'm walking like from one hotel to another. I just got this giant check. I was just like stoked, and I'm looking at this guy. It's like, oh, that's Chris Campbell. That's Chris Campbell, and he was surrounded by like hundreds of people already. First event. That's like, and I was following him for like a couple of years. Like I saw those offline biz magazines, like I saw the guy, I saw like he had like 5 cars, and I'm like, damn, this guy can do it, I can do it. That's when I was just starting out. It was awesome,
Yeah, man,
So,
he stepped in like Eric Clapton on that thing. It was like a rock star had just shown up. But that's the power of branding, right? Because he'd been telling his pizza delivery story for years and years and years by that time. And wherever he goes now, the power of that branding, the power of having a system that works, really is what it is. And there he was. Hey, Alex, talk a little bit about the vision, man. So what you've been working with, what we already have here, has generated. I don't know what Dave Wood said from stage, that our organization alone, from Justin Brenja Prosperity Team down, we've got, last time I checked, we had 1,857 people on a Wednesday night hangout, man. I mean, full companies don't do this. I was teaching for a great company out there that's in the space, but they're in the entire space, and they deal in some pretty cool technology. And they asked me to speak on their hangout yesterday, and they were all excited and stuff. And I was like, yeah, we possibly might break 300 tonight. We might have over 300 on a hangout. Here, our team alone has got over 1,800 people on a hangout. So with the technology and the systems and the training that we've already got in place, you've been able, over about a 1.5 year period of time, build up a $30,000 a month income. Two questions too, man, to kind of feed the masses as well, because that's the big deal, right? This is where we're going. We're trying to help the normal everyday guy that's doing this part-time. By the way, you did it part-time as an engineer with a corporate job in Manhattan at the Big Apple, riding trains and doing all kinds of stuff to get in there. So not an easy way that you did it, yet you still built a $30,000 a month income part-time. 2 questions. With what you see now, the direction, the message, and the tools that we have, man, what's your vision for your own business? How big did your vision just get? Realistically, it's got to be incredible. Number 2, for the people on your team, the guy just getting started with no experience, a little bit of a vision for them. Can you see what they're going to be able to do with all this leverage and automation that we're bringing, man? It's got to be keeping you up at night too, man. I've been able to sleep that well since the event because I'm so fired up about it. But speak a little bit about that, dude, because you've been able to do some pretty crazy stuff part-time.
Yeah, Franco. Well, I started part-time outside of my full-time engineering job, just like Lawrence Tam. Like my story is like a lot like Lawrence Tam. Started working. I mean, I was working for a big, publishing company in the city, right across from Radio City Music Hall. And at that point, like my life, I was trying different MLMs and everything. And here's a funny story, actually. One time, I was willing to do whatever it takes, right? I made that decision that I'm going to succeed no matter what, right? No matter how hard, how tough it got. And one day, we were doing like traditional MLM, and one of the, my sponsor, he was doing like offline, hotel meetings in the city and Brooklyn as well. And one time, I just like, we're gonna do a presentation in my office space. Like all my coworkers, they must be, hungry for money. They're not getting enough. They're not getting paid enough. So I was like, yeah, I think I should help them. I should do a presentation at my office space, right in Midtown, at my job place. So here's what happened. We had like one of the days when my boss, my manager, he was like softball freak. He would take the whole like office to a softball game. So it was like 4 o'clock, and I printed like hundreds of flyers, like something like get healthy and get wealthy or something like that. That was the slogan, I think. And I plastered them all over this
masterful
skyscraper.
Dan Kennedy would be proud of you with that headline.
So I plastered them on every floor. There were like 45 floors in the building. And I said, like, hey, come in, like free tasting, blah, 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 miracle juice, miracle juice discovered by ancient civilization from, it's from, like, Brazil, Brazil is like lungs of the planet, blah, blah, blah. So it was a good ad copy. You would be proud, Franco. And imagine this. It's like we got security in the office space, right? We got, like, people with metal detectors. We have, like, 20 people, like, waltzing in, schemers, right? As they would call schemers, walking to the office building and then getting them to like 23rd floor. And we have this, I got the projector set up. Everything was ready to go. I got the tasting cups and everything. So we had like 20 people that came with my sponsor to my job space. But we only had Guess what? How many guests showed up after me plastering like hundreds and hundreds of flyers, on every single floor. 4 people, okay? 4 people showed up, okay? None of them signed up.
4 people to your hangout, huh?
Yeah, 4 people. 4 people hangout, okay? 0 sales, 0 signups. That was my experience. So at that point, luckily, I never quit, and luckily I came across EmpowerNet. It was just perfect timing, I realized that, hey, I have to stop hiding behind the computer. I actually have to go out to the marketplace and meet those people that are making things happen. I finally listened to Mike Dillard. He said, like, I didn't have a breakthrough in my business until I actually, dropped my excuses and went to my first event. So that was my first event. I flew out to Orlando. It was MLSP event. That's where I met both Daves, and that's when that secret meeting happened, right, for Empower Network. So the timing was perfect. So at this point, I mean, like, we had a lot of guys, like a lot of people on my teammates on my team, they didn't experience those issues. Remember the merchant issues, remember the legal issues, all sorts of issues where most companies would just fold, right? Most owners would be like, damn, I'm not gonna deal with this crap. We're just gonna, we don't care about distributors, we don't care about the reps, whatever, crap happens, right? So, but it's not Dave and Dave. I mean, like, if you met them in person, if you really looked into their eyes, and they have huge hearts for average people, because they've been where we've been, right? They went through those trenches. They struggled for years until they had those breakthroughs. Like everybody else here on the panel, so many people that are watching us, they've been there where we were and Dave's were. So it's incredible. The timing is perfect. I mean, we're just gonna crush it. I mean, it's I cannot describe it. I'm lacking words in my vocabulary. What's gonna happen?
I catch myself doing it too these days, man. I just catch myself saying, you know what, guys? I can't describe what's coming. All I can tell you is just get in. Click the button, just get in. I have no time to explain 1,000 questions. Just, go to our FAQ, shoot me an email or Facebook if there's any other question you have that's not handled there. But we are running so fast right now. This is so, obvious. It's so obvious you can't ignore it. And anytime we spend away from productive activity, it's just you're slowing down the train. So we're just running fast. And because we came back with that energy, man, I got a lot of people just saying, okay, man, give me your link. Hurry, I don't want to miss the train. Give me the link.
Even people in different markets, like people that, like, for example, I know a lot of Russian network marketers, right? And a lot of them don't have that, they don't speak English, period, right? Because they just don't live here, right? But they have huge teams. They have like 50,000 people in downlines. They have hundreds of thousands of people in their downlines. And they're making money, but guess what? Their teammates don't make money, and they've been they've been watching Empower Network for months now. And at this point, I mean, I don't know if that's public knowledge, but you guys know that there are international expansion packs are coming, so they're stoked. They couldn't wait.
We haven't even had a chance to talk about that. Yeah, we haven't even. That's part of ENV2. Just get in and roll with us, and people will be able to click on a button and read and hear it and watch all the products in their own native tongue. Period. I mean,
and they're coming on board already.
Yeah.
So So they couldn't wait. They're coming on board already. They're positioning those leaders already. So right now is the perfect timing.
Yeah, I mean, phase 2 for us was to bring not only this kit and something unique, but to also, eventually go into the Spanish market and to really bring this into households in different languages and internationally as well can be done. But honestly, it's this company hasn't even hit momentum, and I'll tell you, the companies that I've been with or seen or consulted with, when those companies hit momentum, whatever you're making normally, and a lot of times this happens, whatever you're making from the day they hit momentum, it can 10 times in some situations just by the momentum of the company. So if you just keep doing what you're doing and stay consistent with your actions, that's what momentum can do. And so we wanted to not just let the company build the momentum, we wanted to be the momentum. And I just talked to the corporate today, and I was saying, we're about to double the size of the company in a very short amount of time, and I was very serious. So, I mean, I do have a kit here I want to explain to you guys really quickly, because some of you are going to ask, well, how much are these kits? How many do I have to buy? You don't have to buy these. You don't have to pay for iPass. We're not charging for it. All you have to do is commit yourself to Empower Network in the business, go all in, and you're going to get the iPass kit system. You're going to get the ability to use the PBAs. And as you'll notice, we did not spare any expense on these kits.
Oh, that thing's beautiful, man. I touched it and felt it over in Denver. It's an awesome publication for even what the customer's buying it for. It's underpriced for them, and you guys. I know why Scott was laughing right now, man. He had a big old grin from ear to ear. Scott, we're spoiling this team way too much, don't you?
Oh,
man.
this is insane. I can't tell you.
Everything else that we give them, bro. Are we spoiling this team? Somebody's got to draw the line.
Oh, yeah, I know. Seriously, I mean, it's absolutely insane what we are actually giving this team, and it's like when you see that beautiful package. See, I actually came from a graphic design background. So, I looked at that from a graphic designer standpoint, and I'm like, this thing frickin' rocks. Yeah. I mean, that was something that I was like, I'm like jealous. I'm like, I want to hire whoever designed that thing, because, I could do some pretty decent stuff, but I was just amazed at the quality and the thought process that went behind it. I was ready to just get all in all over again. Just looking at that thing, I can't believe. This is I got my nipples got hard. I mean, when I saw this thing, I'm just like, the quality level that this has, it's absolutely insane. And while I'm actually talking, I don't know if anybody can actually see, because sometimes whoever's talking is actually on there. I hope
controlling it, man. So whenever I see a good shot, I put it on the big screen. Like, you can keep flowing, man. This is what's incredible. That's interesting that you mentioned you come from a design background. Mm-hmm. I come from a direct response background. I come from the background that ropes in guys like Alex with little black and white Dan Kennedy style booklets back in the day, direct mail order, man. It's like, we were working back with Joe Schroeder and Glenn Manger and all these guys, and we come back from the days that where it was you use kits like this. A simple little black and white booklet would triple your business when you used it on the front end. We used to send this out to MLM leads, people that the lead broker would tell us supposedly they had bought something in the home business industry within the last couple weeks to 6 months or whatever. And what we would do is very similar to what Alex was saying. I would buy my leads and have my leads on labels. I would have my stamps. I would have either, if I was leading with a postcard, it would be a postcard with a website on there, and also a recorded teleseminar line, a recorded hotline to hear information. And the psychology was, you send out this piece of information to a lead on a label, you shoot it out first class, they get a postcard. If they're not sitting by their computer, they're going to have their cell phone, or they're going to be by the kitchen counter, and the phone is there. This is before cell phone too. And more than likely, they're going to call the 800 number recorded line. And you had to put recorded message, 24-hour recorded, in parentheses, pretty bold, so that they knew they weren't going to get sales hacked, right? It's a safe call in. So then they would call in and hear a little 3-minute to 5-minute pitch that only solely 100% either sold the next teleseminar, or it's sold ordering a business kit. And so they would have to call in a number at the end of the message. They would leave their details, right, Chris? And then we would call our hot prospects, and we would call them and get their details. So now I can send another package out to package number 2. So how much is it costing me with stamps and labels and all and the postcard printing and all this stuff? Now package number 2 was for the hot prospect, and basically it was a business kit. Really, what it was? It was a big, ugly black headline that hyped them to death, and then a 25-page sales letter after that was selling whatever the front-end funded proposal was for it. That's where we started. And then you look at, but here's the power of why that worked, and I used to love mail order. Number one, I can get someone that was serious and that was going to go through the numbers and commit to it. They were going to get results. Because what do you get? What's one of the main questions when people are coming off, maybe they don't have experience with internet marketing or network marketing online, and one of the first questions is, how do I know that this is legit? I'm on your website and everything looks pretty on the internet, but you can click, to delete the whole thing tomorrow after you get my money, right? So there was a certain quality when I put something in somebody's hands that they can touch and feel. And in fact, holy crap, this was written in the year 2000. Here it is right here, Alex.
Oh, funny.
The cash flow recruiting machine, man. I'm still, but it's great stuff, right?
Yeah.
Published.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going, man.
In the year 2000, man, and this is what I was selling, courses like this. And then once people became my buyer on these Joe Schroeder teleseminar courses with manuals and booklets, the beautiful thing about that, I don't know why, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but here's what happens. You put something in somebody's hands that they can put in their lunch truck and take to work and read during lunch. They carry it around with them. They write the night before they go to sleep. It's it's at their night table, and they're taking you to bed at night. They're reading your information. They're just in the flow, and they got this tangible thing. And because the information flows so well, they all of a sudden they wake up one morning and their subconscious owns the system. They want that entire system because they know if that's how they felt, they can get this in the hands of 100 people, and 10 to 20 people are going to get that feeling that they felt, and they feel, I can do this. All I had to do was post an ad on Facebook. All I had to do is buy traffic and let it come into the website. All I had to do is shoot out a postcard, right, to leads or however the front end works, but they can see themselves doing that. And then they kind, because a good funded proposal explains to them that other people are going to have this feeling that you're feeling right now. It works. You're reading the information. Isn't this headline great? Doesn't this make sense? Yes, it does. And they're sitting here doing this to the manual for like 2 weeks, and you're thinking, shit, the system's not working. It's been 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they come in, and when they come in, they come all in. And so that's I can speak to that. I lived in the direct mail order business before, so when I saw this business kid in Denver in an internet marketing business, I said, oh heck, we're taking this back a few years now. This is going to be absolutely bonkers when we hit the market with this, because another thing too, guys, I'll have Kevin chime in too, because we both did Amway. We both did Ramway back in the day. Here's kind of why I love those companies. Because when I came to the internet, I saw that, hey, it's just like baseball. I played a lot of baseball when I was a kid, and in baseball, let me switch up here and get with the program, because in baseball, the LA Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves and the New York Yankees, they have some of the, and now the the LA Angels, they've built, because Mike Scioscia, a real Dodger, has been running them for so long. Those clubs have a fantastic farm system. And a farm system is a system where they go to Latin America, all over USA. They go to the Dominican Republic, which tends to have a baseball creation machine over there. I don't know how they do it, but on a little island, all these megastars come over from there. But they have farm systems, and the farm system go and they find good prospects. They bring them in. They teach them the professional level of the game. They let them develop, and then the big league clubs, they trade them like baseball cards, right? And they go in and they develop their own players, or they trade existing players, but they have a farm system, a farm club that develops really good prospects. And with the internet, when I came online, I figured out really quick by accident, it's like, wait a minute, if I market into attracting people that have gone around a couple of rodeos, maybe they were in Avon, Amway, Herbalife, all these great companies, those companies became like a really good farm system for me. because I didn't have to market into the masses who didn't have a clue what I was doing. It would take me forever to teach them. But if I can take my message and go, hey, I see what you're doing. I've got a business kit here that's going to teach. I got a course here that's going to teach you how to do whatever you're trying to do in your business a lot better. You're looking for leads. You're looking for traffic. You're looking for good training. I can show you how to leverage the internet. Come and take a look at my kit or my course or my teleseminar or my Hangout in this case, right? So we've already got that. So that's what ended up happening. I learned how to market into those other programs, giving them generic training information, and they loved it. And it was like Amways and the Herbalifes and the prepaid leagues, all these other companies became my really good farm club, because they have a knack for door knocking and walking the neighborhood and getting people from the street and educating them on the basics of the industry, right? And you get people dreaming about pipelines and residual income and leverage, the J. Paul Getty quotes and all the good stuff that they do with their books, tapes, and events that I marketed right into them. But what I see we're doing now is we're kind of, Kevin, it sounds like we're eliminating the middleman, man. I think we're going to have our own farm system where we can take our leverage and our systems and our funnels and our business kit now with the PBAs, and we can develop our own farm system out there in the mainstream. What do you think of the analogy? Because I know we come from a similar background. You excited about this business kit and the new funnels and the new messaging we're going, man?
Well, it certainly takes everything to the next level. And, you know, with what Chris was talking about, I'd love to hear a little bit more from Chris on the details of that package. And I think the new people would like to hear that too. The analogy that you used was perfect. I mean, 35 years ago when I got into this profession, we attempted to use similar systems without success. And you know what was missing? The internet. The internet. Now with the internet and the vision of guys like Chris and Dave and the leadership team of Prosperity Team, it's like Alex said, game over. It's just a powerful way to develop a funnel. And for those of you that are new that don't know what a funnel is, you have, I'm going to be real basic, you have a lead capture page, you have a video, you have follow-up emails, but there's a missing element in there that not necessarily is missing, but this added element in there will allow you to focus your time on the income-producing activities of capturing leads and creating traffic and capturing leads, and allowing this funnel, which has now been energized with the iPass system with the PBAs, to just take your business to the next automated level that the internet is designed for. And so, Chris, I'd love to hear a little bit more about the packaging, and I'm sure the new people would too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, really, some details about it is, well, first of all, the goal is always to do one thing, and that is to simplify everything. As complicated as this is in the background, you never know that. The prospect never knows it, the customer never knows it, and even you, the affiliate, would never know that. So it simplifies everything. You do one task and you do it very well. So when you go to tell somebody else to do something, you tell them to do one thing and do it very well. All of a sudden you have an army of people that do one thing extremely well. Your business will grow. Amway, you guys mentioned Amway. That company paved the way, right, for our industry, really, and outside of the internet. But that was not an internet marketing company. That was a company that was based on traditional belly-to-belly business building. But they did some things right, a lot of things, actually. They created a community within, a loyalty, and I think our goal with this package is to really help you guys merge high tech and high touch together. As you had mentioned, it's one thing to have a website and a video, okay? And I can talk all day on video, but it's a little different compared to if you were talking to me on the phone, or if you saw me every 3 months at an event and we had dinner together, if we were at these events and we could shake hands and do these things together. It's just different. So on a prospecting level, it's different when you have somebody who's your assistant or a expert in the industry call you and say, hey, I want to walk you through what you need to do to be successful. 99% of the people out there that are going to buy a business or buy a product or an opportunity never get that hand holding, okay? And they're itching for it. They want it so bad because maybe they failed in the past, or they just need something more. And I will tell you, the PBAs are so effective because, and we're not talking a call center here, guys. We're not talking a boiler room. These are people that I handpicked that are professional, they've been successful, and they will, I know you guys know, some of you have talked to them, they just will walk them through the materials. So you had mentioned, Scott, a design standpoint. I built the design of this kit. This is one of the only pieces I've done in years. I did all the graphic design on this. And the reason I did that, people are like, Chris, well, you make all this money, why would you do that? Well, honestly, I couldn't find somebody that could do what I wanted it to do. All right, I knew in my head what the psychology inside of here should do, and I wanted to look exactly how I wanted it. Now, I've had some help with copy and writing the articles and things. Aki Wood has helped a lot, and a few others. But inside of here, it really just builds a relationship. There's 2 DVDs in here, okay? There's 2 DVDs inside of here that explain what is in here and explain the opportunity, explains Empower Network. Both DVDs are very thorough. There's a workbook in here that follows the DVD actually, so you can put notes in there, and you can kind of read as you hear on the television, which is really cool. There's a magazine in here, and this magazine I did for a reason. The magazine is to build credibility. I want you guys to think for a second, if you were to go to your dentist or your doctor or friend that's successful and you were to hand them this, would they throw it in the trash? Would they say, oh, this is a bunch of hype and BS? Or would they say, you know what? Wow, they spared no expense to really produce something here. I'm going to take it serious. And that's what we want every person that gets this in the mail. Not to mention, we priority mail every single one of these. So we're paying good money to get this out in 1 to 3 days. So, there's a certain point that we're trying to reach here, and a result that we're trying to go for. And then on top of that, of course, you'll have the analytic types, the people that want to analyze everything. We all know those types. Well, for that case, we have a product guide. And inside the product guide, it'll explain every product, what's in it, why it's there, what you get. Some people don't care. Some people, and I'll tell you, some of the most successful people don't look at the product necessarily. They know the product's good. They'll do their due diligence. They see the platform's great, but then they just go. They just go and they do and they act and take action. And that's really the deciding factor is going to be in your business. So those of you that are in this, that are all in and excited to use this, it's the actions you take from here forth that will get you on that stage getting a check. And we can only do so much by putting these in your hands and getting you the websites to put these out to the marketplace. But believe me, we have a lot of things planned down the road for other versions of this where you can just hand out in your neighborhood. If you want to do a meeting in your home, you can do that. As you were mentioning earlier, we do want to bring this to a belly-to-belly platform because right now there's not a lot of old school people in Empower Network. It is wide open right now. Mm-hmm. I think there's 150,000 people or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that number is correct, but there's a lot of people in here, but it's nothing compared to the Amways and some of the bigger network marketing companies out there. So we want to be able to say, hey, those of you that are on maybe a shoestring budget and you win all in, and maybe you don't have the extra money to advertise right now, here's a way for you to get 20 kits yourself and start handing them out, and then you can have a PBA follow up with them. How'd that sound?
Yeah.
So we have some really cool things down the pipeline. And actually today I do have to announce something. We actually brought in a very big professional to build a webinar platform for Prosperity exclusively, so you guys in your funnels can send all your traffic to a 1-hour webinar that will be a very professional. It'll explain all the things similar to what we did here tonight, but it'll be professionally built, and so that's a new funnel that'll be in the iPass system that we just solidified tonight. So.
Good timing, because the crew out there was just demanding that we keep spoiling them. So for you guys out there on the you just got another one. You just got another one.
Yeah.
Oh man! And for those of you that are guests and prospects, man, by golly, guys, go through the information, review the video, click the button, and just get rolling. Wherever you get started, we love you there, man, and we'll take you from that level, and we'll show you some really cool marketing that works, that uses your time effectively, leverages systems, brings people into environments like tonight where we're sitting around just having a conversation, letting people know what it is and how how to do it. Every single day, you get marketing information, you get copy, ideas, concepts. You don't have to clone everything that we do, but it does get the juices burning. If we do training and we give you a graphic and a headline and in a piece of a post or whatever for you to use in your blogging or in your Facebook marketing, if you're just getting started, you come to training, you get that. You can use it, or you can use it to spur your own imagination, and you go grab some other images, some pictures, and post them on Facebook and tweak, inject your own personality into the messages, and there you go. But the marketing training and the content and the homework and the assignments and everything that we give you, that's hands-on every day, and we do that every single day. And I know Mike has been committed to that. Monday through Friday, you get a marketing workshop, and then Paul Hutchings does the Monday through Friday mindset call. So we do that for a reason. We've been stuck in programs where we were motivated, we knew marketing, and we took action, but there was absolutely nowhere to plug our teams in. So all of us here, whenever you see people on this panel, these are people that can run their own show, build their own teams. Legitimate professionals. We've been there, done that before, but we know what we went through to do that. I mean, there was like 28-hour days, and then this day was creative, tomorrow was prospecting, the next day was team training, the next day is, Franco, the Aweber's not working, or this is not where the link is broken, so then I was support and customer support and all this stuff. So we've all done it, and we were professional and prolific enough to go full time doing it on our own. So we know the Lone Ranger marketing system, right? But to be able to come together here, guys, and all lock arms, and one person is good at copywriting, does the copy for the entire team. The other person is creative in different ways to prospect and market on Facebook, and you get that training. Another person is great at connecting with people and follow-up emails. Another person is great with videos. Then Chris and Chris come in, King Kong comes in, that's a total and complete funnel builder offline and online. So that's the kind of stuff you get here. So click the button, get started, get in where you can fit in, and we can leverage that. Like big man Blaze, my buddy Blaze, he got started, and he didn't have enough capital to go all in immediately, right? So he did what he could, and he just went to work, though. He didn't worry about what he didn't have or what he was not qualified for. He just marketed what he had, and the system took care of him. The system sold where he was qualified enough that he would use his profits and then step up, use his profits and then step up, and in no time at all, he went full-time, and he's making 5 figures a month, and he's all in it to win it, and he started at the bare basic level and worked his way up. So wherever you are, whether you're inexperienced or you're a professional, you've heard something here tonight that is singing to you, and all you got to do is just take action. Start rolling with us. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. And in the going, we'll adjust, and you'll see where you learn other things. And you're like, oh, I didn't know we had that. I didn't know we had this. Now professional webinar system, and we have this, and we have that. But on a daily basis, we give you bites that you need for that day to be productive. And then you can keep going through the learning curve and learning new stuff. But every single day, we give you a complete arsenal that'll make you productive in that day, so you don't have to worry about reinventing the wheel. But yeah, with that, guys, anybody else have anything to add? Is it coming time to wrap this up? I think we're going to break our record for the shortest Prosperity Team Hangout here, because we've given them so much juice, man. Click the button, guys, join, and we got Big Alex Z out in New York that wants to chime in too. What you got?
Yeah, I just want to touch base real quick. Some of my teammates ask, like, why is it, PBAs and offline biscuits available only to all-in members? And here's why. This is what I told them. Because it's really simple, really. If you're absolutely serious about your business, if you want to make money that we're all making here, you have to be all in. And also, PBAs are trained to go from top to bottom. So they're not going to pitch your prospects at $25 level. No, they're going to start at the master level, right? Is that correct, Chris? And they're going to go way down, right? So they're going to start with master. And guess what? If you don't have a master's course, you're going to lose $3,000 commission. It's going to roll up to your sponsor. And we don't want that to happen. We don't mind when that happens, but hey, you're going to mind that, okay? So that's the reason why we did it. That's the reason why they structured the system around being all in. And it just makes sense because from the business perspective, those people need to get paid as well. And 20% is no-brainer to get 80% commission for doing nothing, right? For laying down on the beach, and all of a sudden you make $4,600. So that's the reason. And in the long run, it's going to benefit everybody. It's going to allow everybody to increase their income a lot quicker, faster, and allow everybody who is involved with us on our teams to do whatever they want, ideally, because that's why people get involved in our business, because it's not about the money, it's what money provides, right? It's what allows you to do. It allows you to buy back time and spend time with your family, travel the world, or whatever the heck you need to do with your life, right? So, and I just wanted to ask Chris, if you don't mind me asking, how much you guys spent on the whole system, production-wise, video-wise, like printing costs, design work, all that, like, together? I have a number in my head, but I'm sure it's probably I'm lowballing. Like, I'm kind of curious.
If you have a number in your head, you can multiply it times 8. And I only say that because we've been working on this system and been using this type of system for about 3 years, 3.5 years in particular, and refining it. And we've learned the hard way, you guys. I've launched companies before that didn't go, and it's through those journeys and those experiences where you're like, oh, that's what we were missing. We're missing that little piece, and that fills the gap for the next. And if it wasn't for those 3 years ago where we learned those little lessons and we learned those little things that we were missing, it wouldn't make this possible now. So I can't really even put a price on it, Alex, because all these things, in fact, it goes back way beyond this, because there's a lot of things that I'm incorporating into this that I've learned over the years, and even Chris, my partner, and other influence that we brought in to do this. So monetarily wise, it's very, very expensive. The labor, the manpower, and I will tell you, it's the logic that really is complicated because it's all automated, okay, and there's a lot of things that happen, and there's certain staffing that has to be done. Part of the reason we did require people to go all in is, yes, on a business standpoint, we want to work with serious entrepreneurs, and this is more of an advanced business model. So we couldn't, we could charge for it, but rather than charge for it, we just said, you know what, let's just take serious people that are ready. And sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe if you're not all in, you're not ready to use this. So, but outside of that, there were some logical things that we had to do that prevented us from allowing us to offer this. So based on how Empower Network genealogy works and all the invoicing that we do, there's certain API stuff, techie stuff that I don't even understand that limit certain access. But beyond that, iPass is going to also bring some other things to those of you that aren't all in. So we will continue to pump out other funnels for you. But as far as the kit and the PBA system, that is exclusive to all in members. But believe you me, we don't want to leave anyone out, but at the same time, it's we have to make those kind of decisions.
Yeah, I remember, Chris, using these types of systems. It really, these kinds of systems I've only seen in very, very large ticket business opportunities where they're not even heard of in anything under a $3,000 program, a $5,000, a $15,000 program. And so because of the magnetism about the automation and having that much leverage working for me, sometimes that was the whole ignition to cause me to be attracted to join very, very high ticket programs, because I wanted to experience that kind of leverage in my business. So from another standpoint, I look at this and to get all in is the Masters is $3,500, right? And it's a one-time thing. You pay for it one time, and you earn on it forever, and it teaches you mastery level marketing. But even just from a price point standpoint, to have this kind of leverage and system working for my business, it's a no-brainer. I had to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in programs before just to even get access, and that was like it was not what you have here. It was a basic call center, and we still had to give up 30%, 50% of our commissions to the person that wants to get paid because they closed the sale. So economics is one thing. The other thing too is, like it did for me, it was a great boost for other people. There's a lot of people that I think haven't really been around a lot of this industry because you assume that, oh my goodness, people are not going to do this or they're not going to do. Everybody thinks that everybody else is broke. But when I've seen these systems be exclusive like this, it really catapulted my business because everyone then started stepping up. A lot of people started saying, wow, there's the value. I'm stepping up. So for us to be able to say, look, we've got people on the panel right here, specifically Alex Z, part-time as an engineer using what we already have, not even mentioning the other stuff we're getting away from the business kit and the PBA system, but what we've already gotten. He's been able to build a $30,000 a month part-time business with Empower Network. That's incredible. That's not even counting ENV2 in 60 days when we launch into that market and broaden our market base. So it's huge what you can do without it. But here's where, even if you're at the $25 level right now, you love that this is exclusive to All In. You love it in your own business because you will get there. And when you're there, that attractor alone is going to generate a lot of All In sales for you, for your business. So everything kind of goes hand in hand. Get in where you're in right now. Do your best. Plug into everything that we've got. Follow the model that we've already laid down, and in no time, you'll be all in. You'll be at the events with a large team. And then all this stuff is a huge asset to keep your business growing and growing and growing. So it's awesome, man. Anybody else want to chime in on that level too? And then we'll start getting ready to wrap things up on this Hangout. It's been awesome, man. Yeah, Alex, you got another one?
Yeah, one more thing. I just want to send a huge kudos to Scott Zlatov because he put together a training inside of the Prosperity Funnel for people that think that they cannot get all in, which really is the mindset. Because most people not even aware of the financial instruments that they might have access to. Okay, if they log into the Prosperity Funnel, I think it's on the Basic tab. There's a video from Scott, and I'll let him chime in on that. There's like 20 or 25 ways he described how to get all in the next 7 days. Okay, wow. I showed it to my teammates, and I had people go all in within 7 days because it just simply works. There's so many things that people not even aware that they might have access to. Like I had 401k that losing like 20% every year because of the stock market, and I just cashed it out. So there's like 20 different ways. Scott, do you want to chime in on that, brother?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, Scott. If you talk a little bit about that, that's an awesome point.
Yeah. Well, it was just something that I kind of learned a little while ago, and it was basically just kind of a process. I grew up broke. Our family was struggling all the time, and so we had to learn what we would call creative financing. You wanted to do something bad enough, you would find a way to do it. And basically, I mean, we would, I learned through the process of, trial and error, and I wanted to do X, I would find a way to do X. And a lot of times it was, it was like a 5 or 6 step process to be able to come up with the resources to be able to accomplish that. And what I found out, and this is, I actually learned originally from Dave Wood, because when before Empower, we actually worked closely together in a couple other deals, and he really opened up my mind to looking at resources versus what's actually in your bank account. And so when I cut that video, it was basically just to help people get out of their own way and realize you can have access to anything that you want to. You just have to, 1, want it bad enough, and 2, be able to look at your resources versus your bank account. And it blew me away because when we were in Denver, I had about 5 or 6 different people come up to me. One person had tears running down their face and gave me a big hug and said thank you. They were actually, I think, from India. And they said because of that training, they're able to go all in and fly all the way to Denver, pay for their whole trip and everything. It was just, just over and over and over, countless people. And then I finally decided, well, I'm like, shoot, I'm going to put out a video camera. And so, I've got like 6 or 7 different testimonials of people that because of that one specific training, they were able to go all in. They were able to, finance their business. They were able to do whatever it is that they wanted to do financially, which I thought I was just blown away. It was just so incredible, and it was basically just getting out of your own way and realizing, because here's a good analogy, and every single person on here can probably relate. If you got a buddy who calls you up on the phone, and let's pretend that you weren't making a whole lot of money, And but somebody said, hey dude, you have got to come down to this car lot. They have a 2013 Corvette and they're selling it for $5,000. Come down here right now. I'm telling you, they're going to blow this thing out. If you don't come down here within the next hour, it's going to be gone. I mean, how many people, you felt your heart just kind of race a little bit when I said that, and instantly you were like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to find a way to get it. An hour, I'm gonna call people. I'm gonna pull all my resources together. I'm gonna do all-out massive action, and I'm gonna take action right now. And I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to come up with the resources to be able to buy that thing for $5,000, right? Because you understand the value that is there, right? Well, that value that we have within Empower Network and with this system and what Chris has brought to the table is 10 times what you would get with a Corvette, because you can buy that over and over and over. You can pay cash for the Corvette. I mean, that's the potential that you actually have when you put all the pieces together and you get out of your own way. You empty your cup and you listen to people who have done it before you, right? That's one of the things that we all have done. Every single person on here has been down, flat, broke before we've been up. And that's just the way it goes. And sometimes you have to come and you have to really you have to learn some humility. You have to learn some different things. And fortunately, like you said, Franco, we're literally handing you guys so many different things that, based on our experience and based from our hearts, we don't want you to have to go through some of the shit that we've gone through. And we're actually handing you on a silver platter every single thing. And I think, quite frankly, a lot of people, they just don't realize, because they haven't been experienced enough at what they actually have their hands on through the Prosperity System, through Empower Network, and now what Chris got coming. It's absolutely insane. I think we should actually start charging people, really.
The whole time I was waiting for Chris to drop it, because I thought, of course they're going to charge us for this. I mean, who builds this entire thing? Like, there's a lot of infrastructure. If anyone, nobody does, but if anyone has a clue about all the coding that goes on with the commission structure and the genealogy and the API, and just plugging into a monster like Empower Network that is so awesomely built like that, it's complex. And then he's like, no, just start using it, just be all in, start using it, and out of the commissions we'll pay the percentages to the PBAs and let's roll. And my jaw dropped. You gotta be kidding me, dude.
Yeah, no, there was a reason for that. Just so you guys know, my why of why I wanted to do it in this way, and I think I can speak for the others, is because how many times have you guys seen e-commerce companies come and go? You see these companies. They come in, they're not organized, or they have a bad business model, and it gives the industry a bad rap. And honestly, I got so tired of that, because I have a big passion for helping people, seeing them become successful. But unfortunately, these companies keep failing. And so my was, I want to build the largest organization that's ever been done. I want to build a company that is very, very successful company-wide, because I know the people have to be successful for the company to be successful. So then all the naysayers that ever go to you, if you ever see my license plate, you can read it. It says, you said no. For all the naysayers that say no because of the maybe bad industry things that have gone on, or things that people think it is about, it's all the hype and it's not real, or it's scam this or scam that, is my goal is just to flip everything upside down on its head, so people can say, you know what, these guys did it right, and we can prove that through the numbers. I think Empower has already done that, but I think us as a collective group can do even more than that. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Totally fired up about it. Fired up. What do you guys say, man? Any other comments, parting thoughts, ideas, concepts? We've run it through tonight, man, with awesome gold bars. The crowd's going crazy. What's up, Kev?
Yep, just a closing thought. If you're new here, that you just joined, okay, plug into the system. Log into your Prosperity Team back office and memorize the videos in your basic section, okay? If you're not new and you've been around for a little while and you're upgraded with maybe one or two of the educational products because you understand the value of being educated, then you need to delve into those and study them and memorize the techniques. If you are here for the first time or second time or third time and you have not joined us yet, just get in. Okay, it's real simple. It's $25 a month plus another $19 for the affiliate program, and just get in. Okay, and then see for yourself that what we're telling you is true. Okay, your reason why is what's of utmost importance. I'm able to afford my daughter going to a private school now, autistic daughter, because of this business. That's my why. That's noble enough. I had somebody tell me a little while ago on Facebook. She said that, listen, I'm a bit hesitant because I joined some other web businesses before, but they wanted to get thousands of dollars to train me. And, you know, hey, frankly, we're very transparent about what we do, and we're very proud to be able to inspire people to better their lives. Okay, I would not be able to do that for my autistic daughter if it wasn't for this business. Yes, our business has educational products that cost money, and for those who choose to buy them, they're not mandatory, but you know what? Who cares? You know, I would have never been able to do this in my business without this business. So I make no apologies for offering people what we do because of our reasons why we do it. And you, 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 everybody here has their own reason. Well, for God's sake, get off it. Join us or get involved if you're already in and do something with your life. Why? Because it's worth it. That's why. And those are my final words. Your why is important. And back to you, Franco.
Yeah, man, super powerful. I mean, that's it all boils down to, you know, we have a system here. And the system, it was not designed to, it's a cool system, but it was not designed to give belly rubs and give you a massage and let you sit on the fence for years and years and tell you everything you wanted to hear. You know, it's a marketing system. It's a brilliant system, and you will see it as the biggest asset in your business and in your life because of what it can deliver to you. But I'll be the first one to tell you, man, it sifts, it sorts, it attracts in the right people, and it spits out the wrong people, man. And here's the deal. A lot of people ask, you know, hey, I've got a question. You know, I don't want to sit on here on this Hangout. I don't want to watch another video. I don't want to wait for the next email. I don't want to. Please spoon feed me everything I need to know right now, right? And here's the thing about that. That's part of the filter. That's part of sorting and sifting and looking for the right mindset. We're not looking for everyone. We know what we've got here is powerful. We absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt, because even at the live events we packed a stage just a week ago in Denver, and we do this thing where they call out people that have made $25 or $50 or $5,000, whatever. I'll start from the top and work our way down. When they mentioned, you know, get up off your seat and storm the stage if you have generated $5,000 from Empower Network. Mind you, this is only 6,000 people from over 40,000 plus active affiliates, over 160,000 customers that we've had in only 18 months. So we're blowing up like crazy. But at the event is a really small, really cluster of our inner core family that is at the event out of 6,000 people. The stage got packed. There's pictures on the internet with how packed that was. Over 700 people. They couldn't even all fit on the stage that had made $5,000. These are regular families that can use that money for AYSO soccer, for you know, camps and basketball and Little League baseball and ballerina school and skateboards and razor scooters and all kinds of stuff that maybe wasn't possible without the additional income from this business model that we can plug. Every single person that wants it can be plugged in and learn something. You learn as you go and then you grow, right? So when somebody approaches us and says, well, those Hangouts, or I have no time for a video, somebody just call me back and this and that. Well, you're just kind of identifying that you maybe kind of sort of might not be right for us. You know? So we can kind of pick and choose too. You know, do I want to work with a person that is so important, right? So important. Number one, you're here, so there's a reason why you're here. Maybe if you were making $10 million a day, you wouldn't be, you know, have the need to be here. So they're here because they want to learn how to make money. But if they're telling me that they're so important, they don't have the time to watch one more video, to go through a nice professional FAQ page, to find me by replying on emails to your sponsor. Do you know if you're here, you're probably inside somebody's funnel. All you got to do is click on a button, that'll connect you to information. Watch the videos. We're talking to people who part-time with a job were able to create incomes of $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 per month. We're not guaranteeing or promising you anything, but we bring people that have done it. Do you know me about 10 years ago? If you put me in a hangout like this with panelists that were willing to teach me exactly and create systems and create copy and create all of this stuff for me, and put people here that had legitimately made any kind of significant money from a model like this, and you told me all it took really for me to get informed is to watch a video? You gotta be shitting me, guys. Get it done. You know, watch the videos. Well, I don't have time. Make time. Right? Wait until the entire 3 generations of your family go to sleep, and then stay up at night, damn it, and watch the video. And then click the button and get in. It's $25 to check it out from the inside, $19 affiliate fee. Nobody's going to get mad at you. Nobody's going to file papers because you spent, you know, $45 on your dream, on your future. Then you can really get inside, kick the tires, open the hood, talk to us about it, come to our training, really figure out what it is. If after 30 days, if you don't think you got $45 worth of your juice value, guess what? You can kick us to the curb and continue life on whatever trajectory you're on, man. So we make it so easy to take away excuses. And I think, you know, a lot of times that causes some people to know that all their excuses are being taken away, so they got to reach for something to get mad at, right? And if it's going to take that to filter in the right people for my teammate not to be able to waste time with a tire-kicking, you know, looky-loo, then so be it. That's why this system's going to work for you, because it does that for you. I've been in systems where there was no system. I had to stay on the phone and be polite before I learned the ropes, an hour and a half on a phone call with somebody that was never going to buy anything from me ever, and I blew my day. Blew my day, right? There we go. Not to, and I know some of you guys feel it. How does it feel, Scott, after a phone call that you knew you shouldn't have taken, and how energy level is down? You feel like, man, now I got to go through 3 days of rehab just to get back up after talking to that guy. How can people be so skeptical, so cynical, so we built a system like this for a reason, guys. Now, some of you that have been through a couple of information pieces or whatnot, it's very, very simple to find the person that invited you here. Very simple. You're already in their funnel. They either invited you, track back, how did you get invited? If it's through Facebook, go back to the post and click on the person, send them a message. Hey, Scott, what's up, man? I was on this hangout. I don't understand a damn thing about what you guys just said for 23 hours, but it sounds pretty good. What is this all about? And at least initiate a conversation. We don't, you know, screen people away just because we're negative people with a bad attitude. We actually want to attract the right people in, and we know some people take a little different kind of communication styles to get them to say, okay, these guys are legit, I'm going to join them. Everything makes sense, right? So that's way number one. Way number two is you're probably receiving some emails. You know, all you got to do, man, is wait for the next email that's pitching this thing to you and click on reply. Hey, Kev, you know, I was on the Hangout. There's some things that I don't really understand yet. There was so much information. It sounds great. Here's my question. You know, you can. My point is, those people that really are interested but just have some questions, there's an easy way to get back to whoever invited you here. My point is, do it. Do it. Don't let it, like Scott said, don't get in your own way, man. Don't get in your own way of changing your life and making the income you've been looking for, and that's why you're clicking around. That's why you're here. We know it. You know it. We're just honest enough to be leaders and just call it out on you. The cards are on the table, right? We're not here because we're all multimillionaires that we don't need it. So the thing is, you probably have some questions. Get them answered. Go through the system. If anything, just to understand what's going to be working for you tomorrow when you join tonight. Go through your own system. Do you know how many times I've listened to the video that some people say they don't have time to listen to? I've watched David Wood rant and rave for hours, man, multiple times, because I want to understand what we've got here. And I want to understand it from a different level. I listen and I watch those videos. I hear something new that helps me build my business. So if anything, they become school for you. You're not going to find masterful marketing like that just run-of-the-mill in other programs out there. It's very special the way these guys do what they do. So learn from it, get your questions answered, then click on the darn button and get in. You know, just click and get in. That's all I got to say tonight, guys. Events are going to be awesome. Next round of events are really, really cool. We've grown so large that we're going to have our mega Super Bowl event in January sometime. But the next event is in October, and we've splintered off and we created 4 regional events for you. So join and then get the information on our next live event. It's going to be intimate. It's probably going to go back down from 6,000, 7,000 people. You're going to have a shot now to be in the hotel, in the meeting area, maybe 1,000, 1,500 people, 4 events: Anaheim, Dallas, Washington, D.C., Orlando. The intention of our leaders were that it would cost them less to put on one event and make you fly from wherever you got to go to fly and get there, right? It would cost them less to do that. But what they've wanted to do is invest in you to make it absolutely no-brainer. You can hop in your truck, throw your tapes in, right? Tapes, I'm old. Throw your audios in and listen to training audios and just drive a few hours and get at whatever event is closest to you. Anaheim, Dallas, D.C., Orlando. You've got somewhere that's going to be very, very easy to get to. I will tell you what, we'll have leadership presence at every single location. Don't worry about which one, just whichever one is more convenient for you. Lock in your ticket and get there, because that's where you really see the magic of your business, of what you own. So that's going to be really cool. We're calling those our regionals now. So we're going to be having regionals, and then maybe once or a couple of times a year or whatever, the big old bonanzas, where we just go bananas on those things, and they're awesome. I have not been to a live, I'm talking to the entrepreneur mindset on the call right now, on the Hangout. I have not been to one live event that has cost me money in this company. I have not been there. So if you're entrepreneurial, the power is get yourself and get your team, and then get prospects and people from your marketing. Get as many people as you humanly possibly can. Get them to live events and watch what happens. I have not been to an event that cost me money. They have all made me money. Hey, Alex, how much in the affiliate contest, how much cash, man, did you win, not even including the business that happens because you were at the event? What was the last event like for you guys? Because I know you guys were just, you know, good news in Las Vegas for you guys. You guys were scoring left and right.
Well, actually, it was more about my teammates, really. Like, there was a lot of teammates that actually got on stage. I had one guy that actually drove all the way from Canada, British Columbia. He just, like, couldn't get a passport by when we had Chicago event, so he was, like, so really pissed because his wife came on board and he was like, Alex, we're coming. And then, like, he's, like, calling me, and, like, Canadian passport department just got laid off or something. He couldn't get a passport. So he was really excited to come to Denver, but he drove. He drove for 20 hours because that's what he had to do to get there. So now, like with the regionals, people have no excuse. I mean, most events are going to be like 3, 4, 5 hours away of driving, really. And anyone can get to those events. So that's really exciting part about it. But like I said, like, what's exciting is getting those teammates on the stage. You know, people that finally making money, you know, because of EmpowerNet, what we have, and what's coming with, you know, with the system we're gonna have in place. It's game over, like I said. You know, it's not about it. You know, you have to shift your focus from yourself at this point to your team, right? And that's when the magic happens. It's just like Vic said, like, you know, I don't have plan B, right? My plan B is my teammates, right? Those are my multiple income streams. That's my plan B, right? That's the only plan. Because when you grow your people, you grow leadership, right? You grow your foundation. That's what's gonna take your business to the next level. So you really have to shift focus from yourself and your needs, whatever financial needs you have, towards other people, and really plug them into the training, give them access to the awesome tools we have on this team, and watch them grow, watch them take off. Because like before, I seen people, you know, they were taking action, they were trying to recreate the wheel, they were trying to do it their own way, And once they started really following 8 core commitments and what we teach on Prosperity Team funnel, their business just taking off. Now they're just getting those, like, not a day got Skypes me like $3,000 commission. Alex, I'm stoked. I'm like, dude,
that's
this is
true,
just the
man.
beginning.
Yeah,
this is just
that's
the
been
beginning.
happening daily on my team, and that's the best thing from these events and from our whole system is to see that from event to event. Only because logistically we get to see each other, every 90 days, and it's been awesome. We all started in Atlanta, right, a year and a half or whatever ago. And we were all like independently in the hallways and meeting with each other. It was like a bunch of Lone Rangers because that's the way we operate and that's the way we've learned, and that's all we knew. But we were doing videos and meeting our downlines and our teams and this and that. Then we go to San Diego, right? Then it became cohesive in Austin. And I think that's where we started blowing up because we saw the synergy in the team. And then you started seeing people coming up under the very first leaders that formed Prosperity Team. And that was really, really awesome to see. But there was a layer that we were working with, right? There was still a layer in the darkness that wasn't visible, but we were putting in the systems, creating the funnels, working with them, the Hangouts. We started doing these Hangouts every single week as a team. Then we started doing other calls and the daily training. And now everybody has something to do marketing-wise that they can be productive. And then what happened in Chicago, the next step. And now we're coming from Denver to see, David Wood brought us up, right? He brought up Justin, and then he said, Justin, how many six-figure earners do you have just off the top of your head on your team right now? And then people are thinking maybe, 1 or 2. It's just one guy with one team, right? All of a sudden, like a dozen or more people get up and come on the stage, all, bona fide six-figure earners. And then what was awesome to hear is while we were networking there, our teammates, there was a teammate they showed me. She was almost in tears in the super suite where we went to the ball game. We treated our team to a ball game in the presidential suites at the Colorado Rockies Coors Field, right? And while we were in there, one of our teammates that had been at the mastermind, she calls us over and she goes, don't say anything yet. Don't say anything. I don't want to jinx it. But look at my phone, right? Look at my phone. I can't believe this. And literally, guys, I am not playing. I'm not kidding. The phone was doing this in her hand. It was like, it was a happy shake. It was like an incredible shake. She had just been through the entire event, and she had just been through our coaching that we did with our all-in people. And she was just so happy, and she looked, and I looked, and it was her very first all-in sale had come in, right? And you should have seen the belief in her. That's what we're all about, guys. And we've been hearing those stories, Alex, ever since the event. It's over and over. I made my first 1,000. I got my first 500. I got my first all-in sale. I got 2 sales today. There was somebody, and sorry, guys, I don't remember your name because I'm just checking in the comment thread very quickly, but there's somebody that needs a kudos for today. Congratulations, man, whoever you are. I'm not looking at the thread, but he just announced he made his 2nd sale today. He had to dip out of the Hangout and then come back because he had to take care of some business. He's got his 2nd sale today in his business, man. So the point is, it's working. But here's the catch-22. There's always a catch. It's only working for people that are in. For whatever reason, it's not working for people that haven't clicked the button to join us yet. So, with that, guys, man, I don't know what else we can tell you, what else we can do. We're going to keep building with or without you tonight. We're going to keep building funnels. We're going to keep taking it mainstream, keeping it online, taking it hybrid, high touch, high tech, no touch, no tech, no sandals or dressy tuxedos. We're going to keep doing it, and we're gonna make history on this team in this industry. And I'd love for you to be a big part of it. I would love for you to be the next story like Silvio Fortunato, who can't really even talk English. One of his first words on stage were, "Guys, I'm sorry, my English sucks." But I've made $200,000 in the last 6 months, and I'm from Portugal. You guys complaining that that it's in English and you speak whatever other language that's popular. Portuguese. Try translating into that. Nobody pays attention to those guys. Yet he was on stage. Newbie had just joined 6 months prior. Had built up $200,000. What did he do? He said, I just got out of my own ego, man. I put the ego in my back pocket for a while, trying to know it all, and I just went with the flow and did what my team was telling me I had to do. 200,000 in 6 months, no guarantees and all that. You know, the guy's an aberration. He's probably big vision, big dreamer, big personal mindset, and a massive action taker. But don't you want to be too? I mean, isn't that why we're here, huddling up right now, having this team? You don't want to be taught how to be mediocre, right? I mean, this is not the hangout for the mediocrity system, right? I mean, that's not what we teach here, right? So the good news is you can get started right now, and here's your homework. Tomorrow morning, today's training is already there. If you join right now, within 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to get an email. You're going to get an invitation to a private Facebook group. You're going to get an invitation to your own set of links that give you access to this beautiful way to present this thing and educate people on who we are and what we do. You're going to get access to our training site. You're going to have everything you need. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern, it's recorded, but you're going to be there live. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern, you're going to be on the mindset call. Your head's going to be blown. You're going to be so excited. That's what we do every single day for our team. At noon Eastern, we're going to have another marketing training workshop with assignment, with homework, with copy, with do this, do that, do this. Your AWeber, your autoresponder is not going to be set up. You're not going to know your link. You're not going to know how to get on your blog. Your picture's not going to be on your blog. Forget all that stuff. You're going to be given something that you can do on social networks and to begin working on your blog that will make you productive and start the whole momentum. It's just motion, man. If you keep in motion, you create more motion, and that's a force to be reckoned with, and that's the mindset. Well, you don't have to get it right, you just have to get it going. So tomorrow by noon Eastern, you will have mindset, you will have a system, you will have an absolute step-by-step what to do today, to just do. Don't even try to understand it tomorrow. You're not going to have a clue for the first week, but just do what we tell you to do, and it's going to set things in motion. Other people from your invitation are going to be watching the recording 24/7 of this very hangout, and they're going to get this instruction at the end of the hangout. So they're already coming in, they're already being educated, they're already being given homework and being shown exactly what they get tangibly and intangibly, and your business is starting to grow. I don't know what else you would need, man, to pick and decide. If you got a fight with your husband right now over $45 or $25, get it over with. You guys are going to kiss and make up later. Here's the lifestyle that I want to kind of walk you into if we can step into the future a little bit. Here's what I'm getting ready to do because I hear my crazy gremlin just screaming on the other side of this wall. We're going to put her down. We're going to put her to sleep, and she's going to be comfy with her favorite blanket and another day with mom and dad. Walked her all over the place. She got me tired today. It was a good workout, but she just doesn't get tired. So we take her to the park. We go here. We go there. Everything is empty. The food court was empty. The restaurant yesterday was empty. The park is empty. There's no fighting for the little VW bug toy that she likes to climb in and pretend that she's driving. It's all her place. We took pictures. I took a picture and posted on Facebook of my laptop sitting at the mall. They have this play zone for little babies. There's only a few babies there. And the picture is, this was the branch office today. My daughter's name is Sammy. She's 18 months old. I was at Sammy's branch office today. I took a picture of a cup of coffee, my laptop with a little Wi-Fi unit that I have from Verizon, and in front of this play zone. I'm not in some stupid cubicle kissing somebody's ass all day long, getting texts from the babysitter of what they're freaking doing with my kid, right? I'm there. Yeah, the only text I'm getting is from Pammy telling me, man, you should have seen what she just did. Did you see that? And I'm at the other end of the playground going, yep, I saw it. You know, is your blog done? Yep. Are you going to be on the hangout? Yep. You know, and we're right there just on the other side of the play zone, and that's how we play. That's play. Now we're gonna put our kids to bed. Valerie is how old is she? She's gonna be 6 years old. She's with grandma because her cousin is over because they come to get chiropractic care right there at grandma's house. So they're there. She's having a sleepover with grandma, and she's like the perfect personality, exactly like her grandmother. So they're like kindred spirits. They're happy over there all day long. They don't want to come home. She doesn't want to come home until later. When she remembers that the pool is here, not at grandma's, then that's when she wants to come back home. And so we just got Sammy. Sammy's going to go to bed. We've got another family member that lives with us and helps us out as a personal assistant and babysitting and all kinds of stuff. Awesome dude. So he's going to watch Sammy as she sleeps. He's texting whatever his buddies are on Facebook or whatever. You know how that goes. And so we're going to escape. We're going to go watch a movie. I think it's Pacific Rim tonight. We're going to grab a little vino. We're going to grab some libations, just kind of kick back, see what time the movie is. We're going to take on a movie. We're going to come out. We're going to look at the stars. We're going to come to bed, and we're going to thank God that we found this place. That's what we're going to do. And that's kind of after all the marketing, all the systems, and after all this stuff, man, that's what we want to deliver to you. We want to deliver a path that you can create whatever freedom means to you. And if that means watching a video, watch the damn video. If that means learning a couple of new skills that you feel uncomfortable about in the very, very beginning, it doesn't last forever. You know, if you're scared to write a blog or do a video or do whatever, after we teach you how to do 50 to 70 of them suckers, it's going to be cool. And Chris is going to tell you how to click on a button, buy traffic, send it into a funnel where he's doing the work for you. And I don't make the money to hire this guy. I can't afford him. But you can use him for free. And all you got to do is think big, get in, get all in, roll to the events, and use the system. So with that, guys, that's Prosperity Team. That's Empower Network. ENV2 coming in 55 days. There's no time to think about anything other than think about lacing up your running shoes and running with us, because we're going to take you to a good place. It's month to month, so if you don't like where we're taking you, you can fire us and quit. Who cares? You know, I quit 17,000 programs before I found the right one. So with that, click the button, join us, get started, be at our workshops tomorrow, and we'll start building your business with you. We're marching with you on this thing. It's not a thing where, you know, all of a sudden Chris disappears and heads into the sponsor's witness protection program and you never hear about the guy for 25 bucks. You know, Chris is looking for you to earn a lot of money, so as partners, it's worth it for the long term of our family and your family. And that's what we're all looking for, because you're going to be the next leader here, and you're going to have a big, massive team working with you. And at that point, it ceases to be, man, Alex can go anywhere and make 10, 20, 30 grand right now. He can go anywhere. It ceases to be about about getting yours. You know, it becomes all about, where can I go to help my team get bigger, get better, live a better lifestyle, and be happier. That's what it's all about. We can go anywhere right now and build a full-time income. Absolutely anywhere. But we've got the skill set, and we know how to create what we need to do to get it done. It's all about building you guys up. So with that, man, for the awesome panel we've had today, man, Chris, thanks for coming out. Chris, you guys are awesome. Kevin Souza, Scott Zlatev, Alex Z, and everybody that's been helping us in the comment thread. We see you guys. We love you guys. You guys are the leaders. You're going to be on stage again with us in all of our different events. Keep going. Keep running. Don't even look up. Don't look for air. Don't look for water. Just keep running this next product launch. Look to David Wood and David Sharp's wall and the company blog for the message and the vision. Let's stay on point. Let's stay tight. Let's keep doing what we do. And absolutely have no shadow of a doubt, man, you guys are going to build whatever you want to build here. So love you guys. Enjoyed the hangout. Awesome hanging out with you guys. We'll see you 24/7. You can use the same link all for the rest of the week. Drive traffic in here and have them listen and watch the hangout. And next Wednesday at the same bat time, same bat channel, the new one will just magically poof show up, and it'll probably be Mike Hobbs and Justin Berengi and a whole different set of leaders here, and that's how we roll. We want to promote you and give you some exposure too. So with that, guys, have a great night. I'm going to enjoy the movies. We do this for freedom and lifestyle, and damn it, that's what we're going to experience.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Thanks,
Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Chris.
Have a good night.
Good night.